back at this again now. So we've got a lot of TV and movies, interviews, some Decky play-by-play updates to go for as well. So introductions first here from myself. I'm Conor, and who wants to introduce themselves now?
Original Razer, what's happening? What's happening?
And Decky play-by-play, how's it going?
I know, that's probably the most awkward thing because we're not really used to being too formal with these. We just like hit record and just talk away. So I think at least let people know who we are straight away. So the one thing in common here that we've watched probably the most and we can cover a lot more of is the Darkside of the Ring.
Yes.
You guys, you've gone through both seasons as well, haven't you? You haven't missed anything yet, or
Yep.
I've seen a lot. Yeah.
I think, to be fair, the only thing I haven't watched in its entirety is that Road Warriors one.
Right.
Probably the last 5 minutes I've missed out. And yeah, that's about it. No, I've seen the rest of them. Season 1's really, really good. I keep forgetting there's some solid episodes in that, as we were distracted with season 2.
I think they definitely refined it by season 2. Like,
yeah, so it opened up with the Chris Benoit episode, which was a 2-parter.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of that straight off the bat? That's something that we've all kind of been waiting for, that topic to be covered, and it ended with the Owen Hart one. Yeah. But what do you think of the opening first 2 episodes then? I thoroughly enjoyed the whole season as it was, but what do you guys think?
Well, go for it, JP. What do you think first? First up?
It's the first time that's ever been covered like that. Do you know what I mean? A 2-part episode. It's kind of hush, shoved at the back of the fucking rooms. Don't talk about that.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's been a documentary that's showing the other side, the dark shit. Obviously, by the name.
Yeah.
It was. I didn't feel like it was too biased either way. You know what I mean? There was a couple of strange things that were questionable, like the knife that was under his son's bed.
Yeah.
How far is that? Do you believe that, or does some of it look suspect? I don't know what's going on. Like it's a tragedy, but certainly things like that was like questionable.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone going into those episodes thought there was going to be a clear, like, at the end they were like, this is what caused it. They're very aware, and they played it the right way. As you said, I don't feel it biased in any sense. I mean, they touched on everything. The Chris Nowinski stuff about the CTEs and everything. They covered as many different things as they could, and like compared to some of the other shoots I've heard from, like Nancy Benoit's sister on Talk is Jericho, and listening to people like Chavo Guerrero and Bob Holly and others talking. They were actually talking to him that day on the Saturday or something. All this was going on, so they didn't sensationalize an awful lot. You know what I mean? They didn't they showed stuff that they could take as maybe they're trying to play him as a victim as well, but it's just another way of showing that this came so far out of nowhere. People just,
I think they took the human side. Like, that man was obviously going through a lot more than what we thought at the time or even afterwards. Yeah. Because it was all hushed up and it took this amount of time for it to really come out the way it was. But then again, it leaves you with more questions as well, which is a good mark of an episode like that. But I think it wrapped up nicely, getting to see that side of the family coming back again because of Jericho's involvement and stuff. I think that was not just tastefully done, considering how dark of an episode of a topic they had to cover.
Showing the Eddie Guerrero death and all. It was,
man, that would have
a lot at one time,
I think it brought us back a wee bit. It did for me. I remember watching those episodes of Raw and SmackDown and kind of being when you're there's obviously more to come out, I think. So it'd be good to hear some of the other shoot interviews that we've seen from other wrestlers. Like you mentioned, Bob Holly. I haven't seen the one with Nancy Benoit, but you did see some of it in there with like the text messages Chavo got about the garage door being open and the dogs and stuff like that. So I remember things like that. But one thing I was waiting to hear in it, I don't think if you guys caught the shoot interview with what do you call him? Shit. With what? Sorry,
Kennedy.
No, maybe there's something there, but it was I can't think the Finley's sidekick.
Oh, Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
My name is Finley.
There was an interview with him talking about was it Raw or SmackDown? Maybe was it Raw?
The Raw, the McMahon
all in
Memorial.
Tuxedos.
Yeah.
Doing that, preparing for that sketch or something they were going to do.
Yeah.
And they apparently were told at the time that it was a murder.
They thought it was like a break-in or something.
There was no mention of. What they were told was different, but that was early days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it sounds like there's more to the story there that's not being told, or maybe that there's not much to even look into other than those one-off interviews. You're hearing little bits and pieces from people who were there and then, with the company, and I don't know. It makes you kind of think as well that story's, going to find a conclusion somewhere.
The story itself is never going to go away because there's no closure really to be found in it. So it just leaves the door open. Like, I'm not talking about any conspiracy theories really about it. Just even looking
trying to avoid that.
Even looking at what's present and what's known, it's hard to. I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, if how many years worth of people have been looking into it and all, it's
old Kevin Sullivan thing and all.
Oh God, yeah, should I even have to look into that as well? Like, which is interesting.
It is, but I think that can be dismissed, but it's
pretty cool.
It's interesting.
Do you ever see some of his older stuff? It's pure fucking like I think that's what Taker got a lot of that phenom stuff.
Yeah, that like
Ministry of Darkness.
Ahead of his time, like.
Yeah, what was I can't remember what his group was called then.
There was like Dungeon of Doom in WCW did as well. There was something they did predated that. They took that gimmick over and just made it really cartoonish in WCW. But and that's when Nancy was his manager. Was it just woman? She got woman.
Yeah, woman.
You know, she that was in ECW as well.
That's right.
I actually, growing up, I thought that's where she came from, ECW, because it sounded like the most ECW women's wrestler named on it. Woman. You know what I mean? Like
she was Sandman or something a lot of times in ECW, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dreamer and Sandman, I think.
I have to say, it's very interesting that for season 2, season 1 to set up the tone of the show and gave you a bit of an insight to kind of some stuff that, it was kind of dark, but not as dark as what was coming in season 2. So you've got season 2 opening with both episodes of Benoit, and then book ended with the Owen Hart one as well. So I don't think it was. Yeah.
Season 1, I was just going to say, it seemed like the episodes there were covering people we weren't really familiar with. We knew about, Dino Bravo and stuff. I got the season 1.
But then again, I think by not knowing them and watching the tone of the show, it made me like, oh, okay, first. So
I appreciated everything else that they contributed.
But I love the fact, like, the laugh we had, even for like the Macho Man episode, it's just the fact is that they maybe hadn't refined the doubles that they had in the scenes as well, because remember, like, Hogan and everything in full outfit when they're having their arguments and all, like, it's just wee things like that. Like, they've toned that down going into season 2, but season 1 was funny, like them in the kitchen, Hogan and Macho Man arguing, but they're in the full wrestling gear, fucking giving off to each other.
My apologies, Dino Bravo was in season 2, but stuff 2? Like the Von Erichs, we knew about them, but didn't really, I
had no idea
very little knowledge about them.
A foot.
I heard of that from a shoot interview or something. I think Cornette had talked about it, so I knew I was waiting for that to come up. But no, I didn't know. I just knew there was tragedies in the family.
We talked about some things about maybe fantasy book in like season 3, and one of the main things I would love to see a Russo versus Cornette episode, just to see it, just to get it over and done with officially. Like,
man, it's funny as fuck when Cornette refers to him as shit stain, and you know who he's talking about when he says shit stain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love another pet name for him. Can't think of it.
He's got a lot of pet names for him, but I just love, like, he can be very fair with a lot of people, but then again, I just love when he just completely just goes, you know what? I'm not even going to humor them. I'm just going to completely rip through someone.
Yeah, so the clip on Ryback there on YouTube not too long ago was pretty funny, but
always the back pimples and everything he was slagging about and about Ryback, yeah. Okay. And his hatred for the Young Bucks as well is brilliant. But he actually had one the other day out. He had the Revival, formerly the Revival. He had them on talking about stuff, and it's a pretty good interview.
Well, do you know their name now? No.
Oh, I don't. See, they've only signed recently. They're AEW, so there's a lot of everyone's just going like, oh, it's going to be the Young Bucks versus them. Like, I don't know whether it's a shoot or not, but it seems to be that the formal Revival don't want to do any business with them. They've taken some of the stuff they said online personally, and they're just like, and apparently Cody Rhodes has dismissed them as second rate as well. So sitting there going like, there's a lot
was
of.
That at the time when they were with WWE? So you can probably see them throwing shots at them when they're trying to be themselves.
I think they might be friends though, because I remember.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if it isn't working.
And the Elite had like fuck the Revival, and then it was like a tweet war, fuck the Young Bucks and all that, you know.
Could be a work, yeah.
Yeah. I remember I heard the name, but I can't remember. It's something close, like it's something similar. You know, as if you'd write the Revival is this something, but it's escaping my mind at the minute.
Fuck the Revolt, is it? That's what it is.
The Revolt, yeah, there you go.
Because they're all putting out, there's tons of t-shirts on their pages, and I'm scrolling through them, and there's every variation of FTR in different ways. I'm just like, which one is it, lads? But fair dues, because they were really, really, really fucking undermanaged when they were in there, like.
The fucking humdingers, one of the boys gave the Rasta that attacked Bret. Remember the fucking class boy. Well, that was the Sony Street was funny as fuck, doing the Lord's work here. You know? Brilliant.
That's just one thing you don't do, man.
Is there any other things you can think of that you'd like to see in maybe season 3? Because they're definitely going to do season 3.
Right, I think we were trying to put some of that together one of the last times we were hanging out, but
the Arn and fucking was it Luger? No, Arn and Sid thing with the scissors. That's definitely have to be covered somewhere.
That's fucked up, yeah.
The Arn Anderson and fucking Sid Vicious fight.
Oh yeah, in the hotel.
Yeah.
What was that all over? I can't remember.
It was apparently fucking Arn and everything was, or apparently Sid was talking shit about Flair and everything. Arn was backing up Flair, who wasn't even there. And then that led to them fucking arguing with each other. They went up to the rooms, and I think Arn went to Sid's door, and Sid saw him at the peephole and grabbed like something. The first thing he saw, which was fucking like an armchair, leg off a chair or something. And then it escalated into grabbing scissors and like, I don't know, boy.
It's one of those things that just happened in the spur of the moment. I hang on, it just.
Yeah, definitely. It's something you would not have planned that. Yeah.
You think they're on the road together all year? You'd fucking eventually develop something towards them, like.
Yeah, of course you would. It's competitive as well. But I was watching his match with Taker at WrestleMania 13. Was it 13? Yeah. But he before the match started, Bret Hart came out. He was fucking pissing and moaning about not being in the main event and giving off to Michaels and commentating. And fucking Sid Vicious fucking tore him in. I can't remember what he said. Something about him being a crybaby or something. But it was really, really funny, like sarcastically done.
Was he turned into Bret?
He was having to go with Bret for interfering. I don't know what he did. I think he powerbombed him or something. I can't remember now.
It's the way people talk about him, though, after the fact is great. That he didn't outstay his welcome. He was only in for about 3 years. He rarely lost. And he was a smart man when it came to how he was being booked. Like,
yeah.
Who's this, Bret or Sid?
Sid. The ruler of the world, isn't
it? His best theme was from WCW. That din class boy.
Oh, that clip has come up so many times recently. That one you showed me of the fucking him standing on top of the flattened out car shouting Goldberg. I love that. See, those kind of wee things with someone like him just instantly is just funny, like, because you know for a fact he's so serious, like. But
I know I saw some of those promos where he was really loud and then brought it down really quiet, to create suspense. And sometimes you're like holding back the laughs, like going. Sometimes it's a bit cringy coming from him because he's trying really hard,
I know you're kind of just half watching him going like. But he's so intense. That's the thing. Like, he can't calm down. Like, it's just like, and he's
like nervous laughs. That's what I mean. You're kind of like going.
I know, because if you were in the room with him and he started fucking up,
you were the cameraman. You start laughing.
I know. If I was 5 foot away from him, I'd be like, no, I'd corpse like fuck. I'd just laugh out loud in front of him.
Sid was class back in the day in WCW, though. I always bring this out there. There's an episode where like he's trying to get at Hogan, and like Hogan's talking to him. And he literally interrupts every match and every interview and powerbombs the absolute fuck out of everybody. Do you know what I mean? Goldberg or no fucking Hogan. Do you know what I mean?
You've seen that clip of you've seen that night in Raw they did that with Kane, where he came out 5 times. And you can hear Jim Ross up again going, not again. Just like lights went off.
For the love of God. Yeah.
That kind of stuff was fucking brilliant. That and then Kane interrupt with like the little person's match. All you have to do is send him down as a threat.
Yeah.
He wasn't even going to go anywhere near.
Shit out of half the people in the up the rampway.
Wow.
Like when the pyro went off, it was really loud, and just to see Hart and Duck, you know.
What was that clip of Jonathan Coachman fucking falling back off the chair and all?
Oh, when Kane came out, yeah.
But to be fair, they amped up those explosions over the years, like, because there's some nights that weren't that big, and then there's one night where it's just boom.
Mm-hmm. Well, here, back to Darkside of the Ring. Would you be able to say one season was better than the other?
Hang on, matches. What do you think? They just both see the Dr. D. David Schultz episode.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
And out there fucking really bounty hunting, man. He's class. I've seen so much awesome.
I know, yeah.
And that shit.
I don't think I agreed with anything more. You know, like he's the only person really on there that I would just be like completely 100% agree with. You know, I'm like, yeah, no, he's completely right where he was coming from. And going off doing bounty hunting is just like, perfect.
That was balls.
And he's one of the realest heels I've ever seen. Like, if you ever see that clip where he's on the talk show about fucking sex allegations or something, some dude's talking about it, and he like real life kayfabe heel attack. I felt sorry for the dude on the fucking show, you know.
Well, he's still playing that.
Oh yeah, this is back in the day, like real. This is what you're like outside.
It's so fucked up though. They covered that, like he was, his career was tarnished because of his, you know, because what he did to protect the business, and then like a couple of years later, Vince exposes the business. It feels like his whole career was fucked over because of what essentially he was just following orders from McMahon, wasn't he?
The clips of him looking at them guns like it's babies. Slapping your man. So I could tell your man was lying that brought up the fucking money or about the slapping was hearing.
As soon as he got paid, the hearing went away. The problem. Yeah, the hearing problem.
He came across very badly in that documentary.
He did, very sour as well.
Yeah. What would you say if you see Dr. D. David Schultz today? Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then Schultz was like, I won't hurt you, boy.
Oh, he's still charismatic, but I mean, it's one of those things where, like, what did that reporter going into that instant think was actually going to happen by saying those words to someone?
He knew exactly what he was doing.
You put someone on the spot, like, I mean, back against the wall, and you're saying that about him.
He says, "I'll ask you the typical question" or something like that. I can't remember what it was he said, but he fucking. Watching how that developed, and I've only seen that clip before watching this episode. But knowing his intention before that, absolutely he was doing that to get something like that caught on camera. And deliberately picked the worst person to go up to and say that to. Like, that's like someone going to take her back in the attitude.
I think Vince set that particular meeting up, right, you're going to talk to this guy. Do you know what I mean? And then he goes right here. Apparently he goes to fucking Schultz. I suppose he's a master or something, you know, so.
But imagine him saying that to like Terry Funk or something. You'd get a similar reaction, like.
Yeah, it's like Vince trying to protect the business by putting Schultz in there. When here they want to come in and interview people, well, fucking we'll give him Dr. D. See what happens. Because
I can say it's one or the other. Because unfortunately it's one or the other. Either Vince knew going fuck it, he'll make an example of this lad, and we can take the heat and whatever. Like, or on the other side, they just didn't really understand who they had sitting here.
Possibly very naive. So
it's one or the other. Like,
but you had to know. Bad. Yeah, they were did it not look like? Excuse me. The interviewer kind of knew his reputation when he was interviewing him, and then thought I'll push.
I don't know. Apparently, other people were like, "What the fuck's this dude got up to David Schultz for?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watching it as an interview, Decky, though. If you knew his reputation, would you be standing that close and have him backed against the wall?
Well,
unless he thought he was so arrogant to think he wasn't going to do anything with the camera on. You know what I mean?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think the interviewer knew who he was talking to.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think they knew.
Everybody else did.
I think they knew the question they were asking was legitimately going to wind someone up. So they probably didn't know what was exactly going to happen. So they were lucky to have that on camera for them.
Here's a thought as well, Decky, right? Even though following his story, and I don't doubt anything about it, saying but what he's had difficulties over the years from the event. Yeah, I've never seen the man in a match, yet I still know who he is from just that one clip that's been shown around for years. And from that one clip, you just straight away know I'm not gonna fuck with this dude. Like,
Yeah. Well, like there's the other end of it too. I'm sure McMahon would have purposely put Dr. D in there, knowing that this is going to create a buzz, or this is going to go the way I wanted to go, instead of
knowing what Vince is like now. I mean, it makes way more sense. Yeah. But then again, from what you hear about Vince as well, he can completely miss the mark on people. Completely. I don't know.
Other people around him to give him direction sometimes.
I think it's someone like Patterson or something. It's like hearing the word from someone like at that level who told Vince, we're going to get these people in the interviews. Grand. They knew what he was like, whereas Vince maybe didn't know. But trying to give Vince McMahon the devil is due here, because I'm staring at this picture again and he's just giving me a thumbs up no matter what I'm saying about him.
He's like, you know what happened, Conor?
You know, Vince. I know, Vince. Don't you worry. I still love you.
No, so like I find it hard to pick which season was the best. You know what I mean? But I'm verging on season 2 here. You know,
season 2. I think we were ready for those topics. Whereas if you started off with all the same stuff that they did in season 2 as the first run, I don't think it would have been as impactful, because I don't think anyone. Especially starting off with the 2 Benoit episodes. Imagine that being the opening. You know what I mean? I don't think. I think the build up for that season was the best thing for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I kind of came in on, let me see, season 1. I started watching.
You watched
Bruiser Brody one first.
Bruiser Brody and
then I went back. And then I started following.
That's his heartbreaking, the Bruiser Brody one as well.
Yeah. So I stuck these on then with Pippa after I watched the first couple, and she loves them. She was like, "Can we stick another one on?" And then at one point, I had to say to her, "That's them done." She was like,
"Yeah,
6."
You were watching even like the New Jack one and everything as well. And to be fair, for a topic like New Jack, they covered it pretty well. They didn't. They didn't gloss over anything.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
New Jack, that was season 2, was it?
Yeah,
that was season 2. That was one of the. I think that might have been just after the Benoit one. Maybe it was early enough in season 2, from what I remember.
It was actually, It was episode 3.
I've seen a load of the actual matches that weren't even mentioned on that too. Like, but
right,
then again, what you've always said before, you would not call them matches. Like, no harm.
He's not. All the wrestlers said like he's not a wrestler, but you know, I can't say if somebody's a wrestler or not. You know what I mean? I just saying that as pure weapons. Like it's.
Yeah.
I've seen some fucked up shit, man.
Seeing the stuff with him in Cornette's territory.
Yeah,
I didn't know any of that. I didn't know that's how he was antagonizing people and stuff. I think I heard some maybe podcasts on the subject, and I heard about the things that the locals were saying towards them, and I remember hearing that, but I didn't know the full length of it. So seeing the episode, it was like there's video to go with it. I'm like, oh right, I can't remember hearing something about this. And
I remember hearing stuff like D'Lo talking in interviews about turning up.
I didn't know D'Lo was there. Yeah.
See, I only heard wee bits where like D'Lo was told he came in, did a match, and then at the end of the match, he was told to go down the street to like an army surplus shop and get like black fatigues, come back, and then all of a sudden he's like, right, you're in the gangsters now. But I never knew. I didn't go back and look at anything else about them. But I didn't realize
he was in the gangsters.
I didn't know D'Lo was in the gangsters because I know him and Mufasa was fucking the gangsters at the start.
It's in that shit.
Remember I'm telling you about the months that they did. Sorry, it was New Gangsters or something that fucking like a tribute to them, and New Jack come back and say, "Yo, I'll do a match race for free." It's New Jack saying, "Oh man, don't play that shit." You know what I mean? And but man, I've seen the footage. Like it's a little rundown wee indie show, and Mufasa and him, or if it is even is Mufasa, I don't even know if it is, but I think it was the original gangsters versus these new gangsters who are like a tribute paying homage. And man, they carve these boys up. Yeah. The ring is like a puddle of blood, and like New Jack's going laughing. That's a fucking crime scene and everything. And all the audience, all the audience is like, that is not what we paid for to see. That is fucking, that's terrible. These two young fellas, I mean, carved up, dude. That's fucked up.
Did they get any kind of offense attack?
Oh man, no.
How long ago was this?
You know, they probably did have a fucking couple of some offense, but it was like, say if New Jack or him's going to cut you, these boys were just taking it, you know, just getting cut. I don't know if they agreed to it or not. I don't think they did, but it's terrible. Like,
I'd say they were probably expecting one level of something, and they just got something completely different.
And there's another clip that wasn't shown on it. It showed Gypsy Joe, I think, a cover.
Oh my God, he got battered.
Oh, jeez.
I remember seeing that. I remember seeing that dude back in the day. Like, well, not back in the day, but I had seen all what was shown on that show, and there's some stuff that wasn't shown. There was one more about there was a young kid, a New Jack, and this other fella were trying to put him away, get the finish, go home. Do you know what I mean? But the dude kept kicking out.
Wouldn't take this. All right, okay. Yeah.
So New Jack was like, right, he even kicked out of, like, I think your boy did an elbow drop onto the chair that was on him, or something like that. You know, like, that's clearly the finish, you know. But kicked out again, and New Jack snaps and just grabs his chair, tells your boy to stand up, and as hard as he can, man, he brings the top of the rim down across your boy's head like this, fractures your boy's skull, and when he's in the ring, your boy's trying to escape. New Jack's trying to get him up again. You know, you're not going anywhere, and then fucking your boy slid out of the ring and just got the fuck out of there, man. It was crazy. Like, you know, New Jack
move ever.
Was going to continue that, whatever he was going to do, you know.
Imagine if that was the opening match of an event.
Christ, I've never heard of that. That's messed up.
I'll try and find you the clips, and I'll send you them, but they're rough, like.
Yeah. How long ago was that, man? You know, was that not too long after he would have done that Gypsy Joe one?
No, Shay's seen these all roughly around the same time. I'd seen the one where he stabs your boy in the back, and I have to say, like, from my memory, the boy looked completely different to what was shown on that footage. So I goes to show you what way you can remember things. Like, I have a completely different image of a boy in the footage that I saw, but it's clearly the same footage, you know. It's weird.
Is that the one that Cornette was watching? Kind of like
Gypsy Joe, and then what is your man from fucking the Baldies from ECW? Vic Grimes. That he's the one that got thrown off the fucking.
Oh yes, that's right.
God.
Yeah. But that's just seems to be a lot of personal vendettas with the man taking out people, but it's almost like, do you remember?
It's understandable when you see his upbringing.
Background.
Kind of fucking hell.
Absolutely.
His dad and all. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's not excusable, but you kind of get a better understanding of the way his mind's taken over. And then that accident, you know, where he fractures his own skull as well, doesn't he?
That's why he threw Vic off the thing, because he apparently
in retaliation.
He said Vic was, but first Vic wouldn't do it, and then he had to but
pull him towards him. Yeah,
I think Vic was saying, "Did you see me hurt New Jack or whatever?" He was trying to take credit, or that's what New Jack says, that Vic was trying to take credit for the injury. You know,
who knows? Yeah.
You don't know. You know what I mean? But that's where it led to where he's shocking Vic on top of the fucking tables, and he can't feel his legs. You don't need to feel your legs, and then threw him off. You know,
was he intentionally trying to throw him outside the ring?
Yeah, he's trying to kill him.
Yeah, I almost. It's very clear by watching it.
You know what I mean?
He says he was trying to kill him. Do you know what I mean? So he was just forcing it that he hit the ropes or whatever the fuck the way he did. Do you know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah, he was very fortunate.
Something that was brought up on an interview with a fan at the Owen Hart incident.
Oh yeah, I've seen the dovetail footnote. Have you watched it?
I watched a wee bit of it. I caught the end of it, but it's a perspective from one of the fans at ringside. He's like maybe like the third row or something, but he was there watching the promo on the Titantron, and the place was darkened and stuff, and this huge bang. We didn't know what it was straight away, because they did a lot of stuff where they came underneath the ring. Yeah. So he saw Owen there, but he didn't know how he was there, and then took him a few seconds to realize he came from the ceiling and stuff. But then he described what happened afterwards. Once that impact happened, the ring dust from underneath the ring started to come through the crowd, and there was so much in the air that was there already. Even though there's people slamming that ring all the time, there was dust from underneath the ring that was there. I don't know how old it was. It was fucking going everywhere. So I know a detail, a horrible detail like that.
Yeah.
You know, from someone who was there, you know, giving their descriptions of it, and if you get taken back a wee bit by hearing what they're saying. You're like, fuck. Even the amount of impacts on the ring typically wouldn't have caused something like that to happen. You know, you're like, oh fuck.
I've seen people saying as well that were there that night who were right basically by ringside, who said they never saw or heard a single thing until all the commotion, until people started coming down the ramp.
Right.
That was just, I think, obviously, whoever got to see it got the worst view of everything. Like, but because a lot of people were contesting about the fact that the event went on, because a lot of people are saying that, well, if they turned around and made something aware to everyone, there'd be a mass panic of people trying to leave, and that would stop ambulances getting in or people trying to get out, or trying to keep
wasn't
things
there they were in the dark and for a lot longer than what's on the pay-per-view. Like, they were there.
Yeah, because I mean, like, there was no formal announcement made over the broadcast to people that were there.
Yeah,
obviously because we hear what the commentators saying, whereas people in the crowd don't hear what they're saying at the event. So yeah, as you say, like, I mean, more than likely we knew what was going on. Well, more than likely people that were there that night, a vast majority have only found out when they walked out of the event.
Yeah. And the clip that she was holding up on camera, that was holding him, I didn't know any.
That was fucked up.
That's
that was just.
It was a different crew or something that took over. A different harness.
A different harness, because they wanted a different
aesthetic look.
They wanted a quick release thing.
Because it was awkward for him getting out of the safety harness he was fucking in to save his life. I thought, right, we'll take that off and make this more dramatic looking. And
what was it, a wind sail fucking quick
something
release?
Like that. A boat sail or something,
But the pressure, the simplest way fucking one would like open up these sails, you know. That's fucked up, but
so you know, it went into a lot of stuff, you know, and for us, I think it meant more to us watching these episodes because those were the wrestlers we grew up with. And
to be fair, though, right?
Yeah.
JP has seen this though. Do you remember the Hart of King of Hearts documentary that WWE made a couple of years ago about Owen Hart? And they did a good job of covering his career. Whenever they got up to the incident, they covered it, but obviously didn't go into much detail at all. But the biggest difference I remember, like, people like Bret and everything that were on it. So having them talking about it was one thing, but like, not seeing Bret and not seeing anyone else really from the Hart family was a big miss from that episode on Darkside Ring. But it gave enough time to talk about more of him as a family man and different things. So appreciate that approach this time around. But maybe just the fact is that, yes, they've touched on it now. I don't think there's a point in doing anything more with it, because it's one of those subjects. If you don't cover everything in one go, there's no point having one documentary about this, one documentary about this thing as well. And, like, you know what I mean? I think maybe if they did it 2 parts like they did with Benoit, maybe might have covered a wee bit more, but I don't know. I'm glad they did it, and they did it well, and it's overdone with now, because not to say that those are the most fucked up things that they could have covered already. I'm sure there's other things they can cover in the next season, but I honestly think the Russo and Cornette one needs to be done for comical value as well, because it's so, as an outsider, it's almost like watching two kids having this long running grudge. You're almost like, just sort it out, but it's not going to happen. Like,
the Road Warriors incident where it was Hawk on top of the Titantron.
Yeah,
they did that stunt not long after that Owen Hart incident. Apparently,
no, that LOD thing was like 98, so that was before it.
Oh, someone said, I don't know where. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I don't know where someone's.
Because that's just after WrestleMania 14 when the LOD came back, and then they got like draws in, and then they started doing the whole.
Oh man, I apologize for bringing that up because I heard that from. I think fucking.
But then again,
I think Animal said that.
Think of how many things since the Owen Hart incident. Think how many times Shane McMahon has jumped off something since then.
Yeah.
Or the Hardys, or you know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't know where I brought that up only thinking from what I've been watching. That's someone, and I questioned it when I heard it. I was like, "Fuck!" I thought that was before it, but if that was the case, that's fucked up. So,
well, I mean, that's I even think as well. After the Owen Hart thing, they even did like the Undertaker with Austin on top of the fucking symbol hanging above the fucking Titantron at one point. Like,
yeah.
It's just weird. They did continue some variations, but I don't think we're ever going to see anyone come. Well, they had the Brood coming down from the ceiling at WrestleMania 15 on the harnesses. No, remember?
Yeah.
It's just weird. You haven't seen it since, but then again, it's such a gimmicky thing to watch anyway. It only worked with Blue Blazer because it was a gimmicky character. Like,
Michaels, but it wasn't dissimilar. It wasn't the same thing, wasn't it?
Or Sting. When you see Sting coming down, I love seeing that. He comes down the ring, he's holding a baseball bat, but he has to fidget and get this thing off.
Yeah.
And he's very vulnerable for a few seconds. Like,
yeah, I know. They could just grab him there and then, you know.
But I thought
it was funny as fuck with this. That, as I mentioned in that LOD episode, where fucking there was like a mania. They were supposed to go out for a match, and apparently one of them's drunk and is up in Vince's face trying to explain an idea to him, and Vince is fuming. Joe Biden, get out of that fucking ring.
I think that was the SummerSlam '92 where they've got the motorcycle entrance and all, and he's like really fucking.
Was it SummerSlam?
Yeah, like it was. That was a brilliant match, though. Even though how clumsy Hawk was, it's still a really good fucking match. Like, but I was looking forward to their episode because I love me some Road Warriors, boy.
Yeah. But on the topic of wrestling, is there anything else you want to say about Darkside of the Ring before I move on to the ass shit?
I think it's well lived up to what we thought it was, because I thought, right, here's a channel that doesn't really touch on wrestling stuff. It's going to do wrestling documentaries. They're probably going to take the piss. It's probably going to be, or it's going to be the same stuff we've heard 100 times. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how many times you heard? Like, I know they fell into that trap by doing things like the Montreal Screwjob and whatnot, but at least that's overdone with. You know what I mean? They can move on to some better subjects. Like, but I think they're wide open for doing. At this point, season 3, I'd say one more season would be enough, because if you try and drag it on, you're going to run out of ideas very quick. Like,
yeah. The stories have to be there. You can't just be hunting for them.
No,
you know what I mean. Like trying to.
Do you know? Do you know what I want to say? Because I don't know enough about this one subject, about the steroids fucking thing.
The trial
in the 90s, where like, why is McMahon wearing a fucking caster on his neck, and the Hogan testimonials? I want to see something about that, just so I know what's actually happened.
No, that's a strong
like that, I'd rather see.
Subject matter.
Yeah.
What about the well, no, I'm very limited to WWE in particular. So it's hard for me to think of anything outside of that.
But this is the thing, they can go into stuff that happened in different federations as well. Like, I mean, what was your man? His own federation he tried to make, and it was so fucking shit. What do you call it? UWF or
was that Cowboy Cocaine and Cowboy? What was that one?
Like, no harm. Like, that could have been a movie just about him, how insane he sounded. Like,
right enough. Yeah.
Like, that was a good wee different one, because I had no idea anything about that.
I didn't know his name. Yeah. Absolute psycho.
I never heard of him until that episode.
No, I heard.
The way they held the belt apparently was AFU.
Yeah,
and it was like the WWF.
I saw who was it? Wrestling with Regret cover one or two of the pay-per-views, whatever. I think there was only 2 pay-per-views to made, or 3 or something.
I watched one of the pay-per-views he covered, and it was like, it's one of those weird things when someone does a show that's that bad, even their review of it is bad to watch. It's just like, it just seemed like such a shit show. Like,
but no, I like the way they
looked like it was recorded on a camcorder. It looked like it was recorded on a camcorder. It looks so bad, just to watch.
Well, that makes sense then, because he robbed them.
He did,
Get the shit camera out, yeah.
He swindled them, but he has some balls. Like,
I don't think you'll see another one like that. No, I can't speculate what they'll cover.
What was he was all proud he pulled the LGM ground or something. It was dude, it was a failure. He was like, I did it, man.
Yeah, I know. He was clearly delusional, like, about his own grandeur, like.
Yeah.
Cowboy boots and fucking coke and hookers, but
the mom.
Yeah, so I just hope season 3 covers some good stuff, but I don't think I want to see a season 4 just yet. No. So I think you're right. If they can wrap it up in the next one, if they have to say they're going to make a season 3, or
I just assume at this point, and there's a lot of good feedback for it. They're even started making T-shirts
for as long as they can go.
Oh yeah,
good. As long as the quality's there, Yeah,
they're merchandising it. There's a good audience for it, and to be honest, Vice especially the last few while have been pulling out some decent documentaries. So I've heard. So
give it a chance. You don't even need to be a wrestling fan to watch it. That's the good thing about it. Yeah. It gives you a good enough insight. A lot of them were within pop culture, so Macho Man, Hulk Hogan. Did they do one on the Ultimate Warrior?
No, not yet.
Is there anything really there you could cover? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you think?
Yeah. Mad stuff about him, yeah.
There you go. Potentially an episode for season 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the relationship with WWE and the SAR relationship, then putting out that.
The relationship between him and Hogan, him and Vince, man, fucking get the legal battle to get his name changed to fucking Warrior. Do you know what I mean? So he could be in the copyright. No, mad shit about him, dude. Sting tells a good one about him being on the road with him, and he'd never seen somebody so meticulous about how he was going to get the protein in on the road. And so he'd be in a restaurant with fucking Ultimate Warrior, and he'd have like literally the whole bottle of ketchup, and he'd spray the whole bottle because there's traces of protein in the ketchup. Do you know what I mean? And he'd be just, man, imagine what the farts would have smelled like.
Yeah, man. I know.
How much sugar he's putting in them with all that fucking ketchup as well. Like,
got the protein in, boy. He'd be red coming to the ring. Oh, you know what I mean? Crazy, but legend though.
But the most attention put to that man was his look and his entrance. After that, they were just like, once he got to the ring, it was like a couple of splashes. I don't even remember what his fucking finisher was. Was it a splash?
It was a splash, yeah. It was a splash.
Yeah.
I think he would do a big boot like Hogan, maybe, would he? And he'd like do the corner fucking clotheslines and shit. I don't know, the corner splash too. Yeah. Man, there's a match where he wrestles fucking Ravishing Rick Rude. And I felt sorry for Rick Rude in this match, but it's just
he hit him.
Splashes, man. It's just holy fuck.
Yeah. Was it not Rick Rude that went across he went across he came in, he heard fucking like Ultimate Warriors talking shit about him or something, and he turned up as soon as he heard it at the front door. He walked down into the heel locker room and slapped him or something, wasn't it?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't want to fuck with Rick Rude.
No.
Proper man's man.
I know, apparently he used to do workouts. He'd be like, have his arm rested on like a chair or something. He'd have these big fucking dumbbells, and he'd be wrist flexes with it. No, the build up muscles that nobody would really be using.
Sure, wasn't he a champion arm wrestler or something as well?
Sitting there, Austin. Remember Austin saying that fucking he used to love smoking a bit of dope, and he'd be sitting there moving all the ring stuff and all. Yo, Rick, do you want to help out here? And I'd be, nope. It's your way, class, but
that and falling asleep holding snooker cues or something as well. You just be sitting there.
I'm surprised it didn't snap the snooker cues doing fucking dumbbell flex like that.
But anyway, I think as well they've got enough they can delve into, even if they just pick a few different people that have similar incidents and put that as an episode, or the way like they did with the Dave Schultz, they showed other examples of people flipping out in interviews and all, like, so they're not stuck for choices, but I think we're fine it down for a final season, get some good stuff out, and then that's more than enough. It's done, I think. Yeah. Until
more controversies arise, they'll do one on Nia Jax soon.
Plenty of road stories for more seasons, definitely.
Yeah, 10 years. We
don't need the whole episode on Nia Jax wrecking the place. No, thank you. Yeah. I'd have to say though, the only victory out of Nia Jax's path to destruction last few while is that the WWE has finally banned the buckle bomb.
Yeah.
Never agreed with it myself. No. I understand it's something that'll make people pop, you know what I mean? But your fucking neck's gonna pop, you know what I mean? It's not worth it.
So between that, Balor wrecking his shoulder over it, Sting having to retire, like, do you need any
excuses? People are coming out with
Twitter. When you showed me that,
you did, yeah. JP went on a crusade.
Kyrie Sane clip, the one on Kyrie Sane where she's like, "I'm not ready, I'm not ready." She puts her head on the turnbuckle. I fucking popped off on Twitter. I tagged fucking Triple H and everything. Started saying, "Are you got to wait for another draws incident for to say something to this chick?" I brought up, look at Big Show, and I've tagged Big Show and Mark Henry. These guys have be safe, learn from these guys. Do you know what I mean? Who've never heard anybody.
Tag Bret in there. I never heard anyone in my whole career. He's so bitter about Goldberg.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. The art of wrestling.
I know, but Bret holds that as such a badge of honor. But I'm just like, Bret, you're not fucking supposed to. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's not a badge of honor, really. Like,
no, I don't think he's pleased with it at
all. I don't agree. But then again, like, you watch him putting someone in a sharpshooter half the time, like, he's wretching that fucker, so he is hurting him. Because again, he still believes.
I believe in Bret Hart.
I know, man. See Bret Hart. See if he had.
I believe that Bret Hart believes in Bret Hart. You know what I mean?
I think Bret Hart is just like the Michael Jackson of wrestling. Because see if Bret Hart had more money, Bret Hart would have a Bret Hart land in his back garden.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. But we have a figure as well, don't you?
I do, yes.
Yeah. Show that off there, if you don't mind.
It's up there. I'll leave it now.
Even with those comments about Bret, I still like the man. He's still a fucking machine.
Show the people.
She found Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, and someone else. Can't remember who it was, but they're all like £9 each. And then I don't think I showed you that Liu Kang pop figure. It's in the background there. So I've got Liu Kang and Katana. So
I have them three as well. I don't have Scorpion or Sub-Zero.
Yeah. Yet. So I was like, fuck it, I want to keep that thing going with Mortal Kombat. I'll leave Scott Hall there, like, unfortunately, like, but he's there somewhere.
Well, while we're on that, JP could show us the Scorpion toy, and then we can cover Scorpion's Revenge.
Did this come with the DVD ordered?
I was going to bring the toy out because he's going to live in the box. I haven't taken him out.
He's going to live in the box.
No, you kind of would rack the package on the inside to take the figure out, to be honest with you. But show the DVDs off on the Blu-ray. There's a fucking DVD. I bought it specifically for the special features, but man, DVDs nowadays don't come with special features.
You know, they're disappointed. Yeah,
the worst menus.
Themselves, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I like that.
The bag. So no special features on the DVD. So it was like, right, I'm gonna have to buy this fucking Blu-ray now. So there's the.
Oh, you got the Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to get it for the special features, man.
Yeah,
you know,
you figure with it. That's cool.
There's if you can see him. Not that big, like, but like, you know,
like the classic color on it though.
It's not that big at all. So.
It's cool, man. So what's the special features?
Not a bad box, you know.
Yeah.
Special features on this is from epic game to extreme animation. It's just a wee documentary on them making it, really. They were all praising it, how it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity to work on something like this because of the violence and all that, you know. It's first real mature Mortal Kombat animation.
Yeah.
Then there's the weapons, wardrobe, and world of Mortal Kombat Legends, savage sound design of Mortal Kombat Legends, Mortal Combatants, which is just a wee thing on each character, and a filmmaker commentary. I haven't checked the commentary out yet, but I will.
There's hardly any commentary. Well, not that I've noticed anyway. I hardly see commentary tracks now, or is that just me?
No, you're right.
They're all on the fucking Blu-rays now, though.
That's what I mean. The guy had to go and avoid the DVDs, and the Joker one, I was about to buy the DVD. I was like, no, I'm going to buy it on Blu-ray.
I didn't know that until I bought that. It was like, fuck me, the DVDs don't come with special features, Nick.
The last couple of DVDs I bought the Joker. I got fucking what else? Jojo Rabbit and a few other ones, and it's just literally stick it in, press play. At times I like that, but the whole point of me actually buying the DVD these days is because I want the extra features for things, especially for some really good films. And to be honest, like, if that's the whole thing now, that I have to resort to buying a fucking Blu-ray just to get extra features, I'm like...
Did you do that with Dr. Sleep, or did you buy it?
Yeah, Dr. Sleep was the same. It was literally just push and play. There was no special features at all whatsoever. And the menus as well, no harm. I can make better DVD fucking menus on Adobe Encore than
the menu on that DVD isn't great, like...
Yeah. No, it's very simple.
Or the Blu-ray.
To be fair, the film, again, at the end of the day, I'll it's not going to put me put off DVDs. I'm still going to buy them that way. But that Scorpion's Revenge definitely was worth watching, because even for me, like, I'm a passive fucking viewer of anything Mortal Kombat. I'll check in and go down the lower for certain things myself. But the film, like, even for a non-fan, it's very easy to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
I know, JP, you mentioned there's a lot of changes there in the origin that they're putting on this film. It's a little bit different, but I noticed some of the changes, but for me, I was watching it and kind of accepting it for what it was. But you can pick out the specifics there, JP. Was it the Goro fight or something?
Well, we're going to maybe leave what specifically out of it, or we would just say it, like, really. I was going to just say that fucking...
You'd know more of the stuff there that's not...
The way they've done this, like, time travel and multiverse thing now, every game they release, or every comic book, or every fucking animation like this, because I expect more, because it's Mortal Kombat Legends, you know. So each of these could be considered like one possibility in a timeline, in the MK multiverse, right? So everybody's doing that nowadays. It more or less, when you run out of ideas, you just go, "Oh, wish we can just do whatever we want." Though a lot of fucking franchises have done it, right? But that's the way I look at this. It's like, right, it's not the timeline I remember and everything. It's not exactly, but it's a cool, like, take on, like, the Scorpion narrative. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the first time you see him in the Nether Realm and stuff like that, getting the beginning of that journey, meeting Quan Chi and shit, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's not what I remember exactly from the timeline, but the retcon stuff and done the amount of things, it's just like, right, this is this reality of the MK multiverse, you know.
Yeah. The story in the film just had a lot of Ghost Rider parallels for me at the start, where he's in debt to someone else and like trying to fight off, he's trying to outrun the devil kind of thing and all, like, but as far as when it comes to the lore, like, I mean, they seem to cover a lot of characters in it, which was pretty good. I thought because it was going to be Scorpion, it's probably going to be one or two people, but they're trying to build, as you say, to like, you know, the way like even X-Men Origins, they were going to do Wolverine, and then the next one was going to be like Magneto, and just build it up as they go along. Or
they might do that, but it's definitely set up to where there's going to be a sequel.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Without saying what exactly happens at the end.
It's going to be Sonya's next one's guaranteed. It's going to be Sonya's, because that film was very Sonya heavy for me.
Sonya was very fucking just over the top at points. It's just like, right, you're Sonya, you're in my face like this. Could you just step like a wee bit?
One of those,
bit.
I have a problem when it comes to films, even when it's a male character or female, when they're being pushed in your face that they're perfect at everything. That's why I don't like things like Superman. It's like, oh, he's fucking perfect, great, but fuck him.
I'm not a fan.
Well, this is what I was going to bring into, because I was going to mention some of the latest DC animated films, which are stellar, in my opinion, how well they're put. To be fair, some of them in the past were kind of a little bit off for me. Batman versus Robin.
Killing Joke was such a disappointment. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either, to be fair. But I can tell you which ones to definitely go for, which are more Batman orientated. But there are some good Justice League ones. Doom is a good one. Flashpoint. But they're doing these Justice League Dark stories with Constantine. Can't remember off the top of my head now who's in it, but when it comes to Superman, you see more of his vulnerabilities when he's going up against the likes of Darkside, and he's not exactly the Superman that you would think of, like you start to understand like how there's more dynamics played out and stuff from the comics that I wouldn't have read either, like that are starting now to come out in these reanimated films. So I'm enjoying what they're doing. They did the Death and Rebirth for Superman again. They made another. It's a similar. I can't remember, it was 2007 or 8 or something. They made. I need to double check the year. They made these stories animated, and they were really good. You know, don't get me wrong, like, but they're kind of running out of ideas again, like sort of retelling stories.
Touching on that multiverse thing, DC did, and more, Marvel as well.
It could be that too. They're just trying to.
Both of those are timelines in the multiverse. They both exist.
So that's another. It's another series that they're messing about with the multiverse. Well,
see, when it comes to,
but it's a good attempt though. Yeah.
See, when it comes to this though, right? See, since this is the first film, and they've set up so many characters already in this first one, right?
Yeah.
So you're sitting there going, like, is this next one going to be continuation from where Scorpion's Revenge led off? Are they going to pick someone, and that means we're going to have to go back even before?
I don't know if they're going to go that route of picking each character, but if they're going to do something like that, I expect it to be a sequel as well. You know, it's set up to like cover MK2 here.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
That, you know, MK2 is when the tournament takes place.
Done, I must say.
And Shao Kahn's supposed to come about, so
yeah, the second tournament is when fucking Shao Kahn's gonna invade, so he challenges Earthrealm to a tournament winner take all, fuck the 10 rules shit, or the 10 wins, right? So they go to Outworld and accept his tournament in Outworld, you know, and then MK3 sets up where he does invade, he goes fuck it, and then the whole resurrecting Sindel on Earthrealm when she's from Edenius, which is part of Outworld now, you know, so he's like, I come from away, fuck you. You know,
like
fuck your rules.
Was that they won 9 times already or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, fucking back in the day, Kung Lao and Liu Kang's ancestor, the great Kung Lao, he's known as, beat Shang Tsung, beat Goro, and he was Earthrealm champion for ages. No, with he was beating Shang Tsung, and then it was when Goro became Shang Tsung's champion, representing fucking Outworld for Shao Kahn. That's when he became the champion of Mortal Kombat by beating the great Kung Lao, and then he won that for fucking
consecutive tournaments.
Mortal Kombat, and then that sets up where Liu Kang has to fucking defeat Goro.
I just love the fact is that we're talking about a game that we all played back in the day, and we would never thought back then you'd be sitting here and there's like a lore behind it. Like,
I was aware of the lore back then. Like that's one of the things that actually fucking drew me into Mortal Kombat. You know,
I would have been a bit ignorant to it myself. To be fair,
it's gonna sound sad as fuck. Fucking see, I said growing up, I had nobody to hang out with. So it was like fucking Tommy no mates. So growing up, being like a fucking like an introvert or whatever it fucking is.
Yeah.
Growing up, like that's I learned to love them characters. Do you know what I mean? Like so that's what drew me in anyway. Having no mates, so I got to know these characters. If you know what I mean.
It's just
some nerdy, lonely ass shit. Like, but
I understand. Yeah, I was.
It's but like as an outsider though, it's like. Yeah, but as an outsider looking at it, going like it's a game. Like I mean, like you look at it as well. Like the lore. I know how far you know the lore goes down for even like Jurassic Park stuff, where fans have filled in the blanks between films to explain stuff and extra islands and shit that aren't mentioned in the films, and where the games pick up and shit. It's just interesting that like back like even 15, 20 years ago, like most people wouldn't be aware of most of the stuff, whereas now it's almost like, oh yeah, there's so much shit built up over the years, like for Mortal Kombat, for existence. There's so much shit, like going down the rabbit hole that night for what was it, like Blaze. I had no idea who the fuck this dude was.
Yeah, I know. You texted me randomly, like fucking checking out Mortal Kombat video here, and it's like the history of the whole timeline and fucking different characters and all. I was like, oh, he's in there now.
Do you know why? Because as an outsider, well, I say as an outsider, sitting there watching YouTube for years, I'm every so often chime in like, what? Just like not understand what's going on.
But like I only know whatever he's told me, and like maybe the odd thing I check out, but I hardly know anything. But like I can kind of see some of the stories in the games now, like 10 and 11.
Yeah.
Like if 9 was easy to understand because that was retelling the old games. And seeing what they're doing now is pretty cool. Like the timeline stuff with Chronica. Sorry, I keep saying her name wrong. Chronic, yeah. So I'm getting warmed up to some of the new characters like Devore and stuff. I'm not really that familiar with. Aaron Black is a newcomer and stuff. So I still don't know their backstory that well. So I'm still figuring all that shit out.
They're in the stage now where like not everything's known about them. That new of characters. Do you know what I mean? So.
Before we move off Mortal Kombat, then, do you want to bring up something rather wait to the end about some of the movies ones that you've been editing together the last few while?
Before that, I'd never seen Johnny Cage get kicked in the nuts so many times.
Oh my God, yeah.
Every scene.
Johnny Cage is the one that he's hitting nuts.
I didn't understand that. Was that something? I don't know what they were.
I don't know. It seemed kind of like fucking.
Demasculating the character a bit.
Yeah, maybe a bit of fucking maybe a bit of feminist agenda in there for somebody who don't know, but it's I didn't feel like it was necessary. Sonya Blade's always been a strong character. Like it's one of my favorite characters, like of the old school cast, you know. So it's like, right, I know she's strong, but we don't really need it right there. I think it's just
overcompensating with that character in particular because. It definitely came across that way whenever I was watching because hence why I kept referring to it as Sonya's Revenge because by the end of it I thought it was going to be Scorpion versus Sonya.
Johnny Cage no nuts left. Johnny Cage no nuts left. There was a bit where he's laying down on the ground and fucking you see Sonya walking up between his legs and you know what's coming. Is she really going to kick him with the nuts again? And then boom.
Like, while he's down as well.
Yeah,
it's just like
really excessive. Yeah.
But the worst thing as well, see whenever you see Jax coming through in the screen and you see him without the metal arms, it's like he's gonna have no arms by the end of this film. You know what I mean? It's just like
Same with the game storyline as well. You know, I'll briefly mention that though. Like you were asking about the Mortal Kombat movie things. It's just a wee idea I was thinking of doing there for a while. So I was telling JP there before I did it. I was thinking of just uploading the cutscenes with my gameplay and stuff, but I've chopped the gameplay down as much as I could. So yeah, it was interesting. I'm just trying out something different, you know what I mean? So other ideas I was trying to come up with are that new Call of Duty World War II. It's very cinematic, so I'm thinking of getting that put together. I already started. I went back because I've only done the first mission, which is D-Day, So
I was just laughing at JP being
I was seeing him sideways there.
Somebody rang me like.
Sorry, but like no way. That new Call of Duty one, that Call of Duty game's pretty easy to make as a wee movie. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to try with that one. If I get far in it, that's what I mean. If I don't like it, I can just stop playing it. Do you know what I mean? But I've got all that recorded if I want to make something out of it. You know, so I don't know.
Murphy on it yet?
Sorry.
Have you been playing Murphy on it yet?
Not on that one. That's the other Call of Duty. That's the latest one.
Oh right.
You're talking about the free DLC Warzone. I've only played that briefly, but no, I'm just talking about the Call of Duty World War II game. So I don't know what I'll do afterwards, but it's just a wee idea. So I did Mortal Kombat 9 and 10. Sorry, I did 9 and Aftermath, which is the extended storyline for Mortal Kombat 11. So I only did that because it just came out, and I was recording my progress anyway. So I decided to start with that one. So I went back. I did number 9.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm going to do 10 and 11 next. But I don't know. Yeah, it's just something that I was thinking about doing for a while. I'm trying to do this now so I can get to the games I really want to do, which would be Metal Gear Solid. Hoping I could do a good job at that, because I've always wanted to make that into like a wee movie. Do you remember years ago I had the VHS tapes and stuff? So I had
I'm still waiting for like Decky's Sons of Liberty fucking film to come out at some point.
My cut will be 8 hours long. So yeah, I've always had the fascination of doing it. So now, I just fucking went and did it. Like, so yeah, there's not much to it.
It's just another thing that's been knocking around for a while. Get it out of your head. It's over, done with.
That's it. Yeah. Trying out something different, pretty much. Can you hear that?
I'm trying to fix this place, sorry.
Don't worry, I can always edit these wee bits out. Don't worry. You work away, man.
I don't know how to get it back to what the fuck. 2 people ringing me and all. We'll continue to talk, but I just need to get this view set up here. One thing I'd say there, if you can still hear me, is in Scorpion's Revenge, I thought the Torkatan and the Saurian in it wasn't actually Baraka and Reptile. I thought it was like 2 generic races. You know, Reptile was an MK1, but Baraka wasn't. So it was weird to find out that actually was the MK.
Oh, right. So they're not.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with that. Yeah.
They're not taking the precise characters, they're just throwing everyone in now, or?
Yeah, they kind of did that with MK9. Baraka all of a sudden was an MK1, like, but it's like, right, I remember he wasn't.
Was Motaro in the film as well, from what I remember?
Yeah, you see him briefly.
There's I don't even know if it's Motaro, but there's random fucking like centaurs and like, cameos. You see Natara, the vampire, in the background and shit like that. So that's what I was taking it, right? Reptile getting taken out like a bitch, and Baraka not even getting a fight.
Wasn't
really.
Happy
so
with that at all, man.
I just thought it was just random Torkatans and things, you know, the scrubs, nameless enemies.
Oh yeah, true. Like Putty Man.
Because they've never announced as Baraka or Reptile, weren't they not? But they obviously were then.
Leave the call again here and try and fix this, because I don't know what's going on here.
All right, no worries.
Because again, going into it, you think it's going to be very just Scorpion heavy and maybe Sub-Zero and go from there, and then all of a sudden every scene they kept adding more and more people, and then it felt like a rehash of Mortal Kombat 1 with the whole land the island for the tournament, and I was like, right, okay.
I think it did its best dealing with all that. When you actually describe all that, it was still entertaining to watch, but I think it was a bit distracting because you were sold on the idea that it was a Scorpion film, because pretty much the first 20-25 minutes is all around the origin. So you kind of think, oh, it's going to be a full Scorpion movie, and then it starts playing at the events of the first tournament, not the first tournament,
like,
but
in my head, from the open, I thought it was going to be like in that style.
I'll just watch it anyway. Like, it's not what I thought it was going to be, you know. But
like I thought it was going to be like set in that kind of style. It's going to be more like him hunting down the people who killed his wife and everything. Like, this is like stuff.
Well, that is what MK1 is. That's what his storyline is. He goes after Sub-Zero.
Yeah, but I just thought
it's impossible to like explain Scorpion's origins with all that stuff without doing like the Mortal Kombat 1 timeline, because that's when it happened. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of factors in there that led to that tournament. That's the whole reason he's at that tournament, is because he wants to kill Sub-Zero. Yeah. Quan Chi has tricked him into thinking killed his family, but it was actually Quan Chi, you know. Mad shit that only really gets revealed later down the line. A lot of the games you didn't know what was true and what wasn't until like the next game.
Do you know if that was lore that was already set in stone, or did they create these ideas that the games were being made?
No, I think the retcon that stuff like as they go. Do you know what I mean? The only person who would know that sort of stuff would be John Tobias, the dude who's behind all the lore and the characters back then. You know, he made that shit up really. So as time goes on, you see stuff retconned, and you'll find out things like
it's all made up.
We only found out in Deception. An MK Deception that fucking Noob Saibot was actually the original Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they'll do stuff like that.
Makes sense, yeah. Yeah, it was just on the basis of the name Scorpion's Revenge, he kind of thought, well, I thought when I was watching the first part where it was his son getting killed and discovering his family's killed and stuff, I thought it was going to be spelled over in a longer period, you know, exploring all that.
I expect like Shogun Assassin version or something.
But that's literally how quick it happened, though. As I said,
it's unaware. Yeah.
Like Scorpion's Revenge is right. He's coming for Sub-Zero. Do you know what I mean? And where is Sub-Zero? He's at the fucking MK1 tournament. Do you know what I mean?
It seems to me it's hard to tell that story without showing the allies, you know.
But then they'll make the ass shit up, do you know what I mean? Fucking Quan Chi going, right, I want this here, so if you go in fighting for the Netherrealm, which I thought was cool there, like I'd never seen, right, the actual can be representatives or fighters from different realms fighting in the tournament, do you know what I mean? So it's cool seeing Quan Chi there going, right, this is the Netherrealm representative Scorpion.
Yeah.
Do you know, but we're fighting for fucking
outwork,
really. What is it?
He turned up in the big black ship.
Man, that was class. First time seeing the other boats from the other realms. I've never seen that yet. It's always like the Earth realm one, you know. That was cool. Good point.
I think as well, to be like, I'm not trying to be harsh on the film because my expectations going in,
I loved it,
very different. But they had an awful lot to try and, to be fair, to squeeze an awful lot of stuff in that one film. A lot of characters, a lot of different settings, environments. It set the tone, the mood, the whole lot. So I think it's a success. It did well, but in my head, I'm sitting there going like, I thought it was going to be something completely different. Like,
when me having explained that, if you had knew like the information that I knew there, and like when I have to explain to you, you would have had a different perception, you know. But I can see if somebody's not as familiar, Scorpion's Revenge, right? That kind of without you knowing any of that, would leave that like open to interpretation, really.
Yeah,
you know?
Because your mind will wander. Because then again, like I'm sitting there going like, there's been films made about events that have happened in shorter periods of time that you can make a 3-hour film out of, and fuck it, if I just want to watch an hour and a half of Scorpion training or something, or getting ready for developing his thing, because he just arrived on the boat with a new outfit, the whole lot. It's just like, what happened in between all that? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know. Like, it could have been just him, even the process of him getting to the event, like him on the boat, and just do cutaways of him looking back at the family from years ago. Something to eat time, but just spend more time with Scorpion than going back and forth to Sonya beating the fuck out of Johnny Cage in the balls. You know what I mean? That's
Conor, you expect too much from
a film.
Yeah.
How long is it?
Every part. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, where did he get the outfit? Did he get it on eBay or
I don't know, but I'm just 80 minutes. Character development. That's my love. You know what I mean? Because
I think he did a good job. Like I'm
feeling more, I'm just feeling more tense about it because I rewatched Batman Begins last night with the Kevin Smith commentary over it, and you're sitting there going like, they covered so much stuff in such a amount of time that you could literally just say like, oh, sure, you went up the train with those lads. No, but we're going to show you training with those lads. How did he get up there? He had to pick a blue flower, right? I'm going to watch him pick this blue flower and carry it up a mountain.
So would you have preferred Scorpion's Revenge to like leave the perception of the other characters out of it and just see from Scorpion's perspective?
Yeah. I mean, it's in the title. Scorpion's Revenge.
I know, but Scorpion's Revenge is him fighting Sub-Zero, which he does get. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's all about. But
I think they covered it well because they showed how good he was at the start anyway, especially when an attack happened.
You just want to see a Scorpion side story. I think that's what you wanted. You wanted Scorpion off doing something. Yeah,
it's like Scorpion film, but remember like Logan, like that version of a kind of a film, just like very quiet, not an awful lot happening. Just have Scorpion just stirring off every so often. You know what I mean? The indie art project versus Scorpion. That's what I want.
And you're not going to get it.
No, I have to make it.
May as well just fucking spoil it. If you haven't seen Scorpion's Revenge, please watch it before you listen to what we've just talked about and stuff like that. Try and do that. But Goro gets wiped out by Scorpion.
That's fatality.
And leaves his face with no skull and shit. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Never happened. Goro's still alive, man. You know what I mean? Liu Kang beats Goro and he's still alive, but Scorpion's like, no. So they could go off for some mad shit here and have Goro back as a revenant or whatever. But
I want get a Nightwolf episode. I'd be happy. Nightwolf, Striker, Jax. Who else do I want to see?
If you want that, there's a children's cartoon, Defenders of the Realm. You want the Defenders?
Is that the one we watched back in the day?
Yeah,
the X-Men style one. Yeah.
What was the big catchphrase, John? I can't remember. It all put their fist in or something. I don't know what.
You want Striker and Nightwolf and all. Yeah. You know.
What was the catchphrase, JP, that they all said?
Combat time. Sonya Blade's catchphrase. But we were talking about earlier too. We're talking about records.
Yeah.
And this needs to be played. So you can tell it's 90s, but that back cover, what the fuck?
Right, so my version of the film, would you not watch my version of the film at all then?
I watch it, yeah, but it wouldn't be called Scorpion's Revenge though, because I kind of get why it's called that shit like that, but it would have to be fucking Scorpion goes to the supermarket. What happens in Scorpion's Day when he goes to the supermarket? Something like that.
Yeah.
That's how open you interpreted that fucking title, you know.
I did.
Funny though.
Also, the trailer lied to me because the trailer was very Scorpion heavy as well, so.
Yeah, it literally showed all the Scorpion scenes. It's a wee throwback to the fucking there was it's seen in the Edema Immortal music video, but there was a trailer put out with Scorpion fighting Quan Chi leading up to fucking Deadly Lance, and it's literally fucking boom boom with the swords and shit, and there was a bit in that fight scene where he's fighting Quan Chi that actually mimics that, so could be throwbacks.
So those are things you'd pick up quicker than we would, or even I would as well. Homages.
Yeah. Overall, I like that. As explaining the whole multiverse thing, they can kind of do whatever they want, and tell these stories. That's how certain things happen and that didn't really happen in the proper game timeline, But I enjoyed it. I recommend it if you're a Mortal Kombat fan or just an animation fan in general. If you want to see the first time a real mature animated take on Mortal Kombat, that's the first time it's ever been done. So to that.
Oh, and they show no mercy, man. The first 5 minutes.
Oh, they go all out. Oh, compared to Defender of the Realm. It's great stuff, right?
It is, yeah.
That's it. That's far better for animation wise.
Yeah.
They're showing X-rays and all sorts of good stuff.
That's right.
Some of it a bit mad from here and there, a bit excessive, but I get it. Yeah.
I think they did that really well because we're big fans of MK9. They did the X-rays.
Some of the special features is actually great on that. It goes into them playing with the sound and trying to make it sound more brutal and all. And it shows them crushing fruit and doing all sorts of shit. You
should have heard it through these speakers.
They went all out. They were like, right, we're never going to get to do this again. Maybe. Well, they're going to get to do it now. But when they're making it, right, we don't know what's going to happen with it. So just go all out, and they had fun with it. So.
That's good creative process. You get to see that.
Yeah, I like watching Foley artists do that shit where they just come in and simple things, even just slide a knife. Oh,
special features.
Well, can I recommend before? Is there anything that you just wanted to cover on that before we jump on?
No, I'm good.
I pretty much said all I have to say. Just go watch it if you're a fan of animation.
I recommend. I think we've all seen it, so we're all recommending that one. Definitely, yeah. Yep. I wanted to say avoid. You probably have avoided it anyway because I think the only one who's watched it here, Terminator: Dark Fate. Has any of you seen that?
No interest.
Yeah. Well, I will say there is a saving grace in it, and that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because if he wasn't in it, I don't think I would have kept watching. Because he does show up in it eventually. It was hard watching the first wee bit. There's one part in the early They're I don't know if you've seen any clips of it where they're in like they're in like a factory where they're making cars and shit. There's a big scene that happens there, spills out there, so it's a lot of carnage and stuff. But they did some of that stuff well. But I think there was just a big feminist kind of film. The way they were changing the narrative, changing the whole history of John Connor. Spoiler alerts and stuff here, like he gets killed in the first 5 minutes. And the way they've done that is probably the best part of the film because they had the de-age and stuff. I don't know how they made it work, but they must have had a stand-in or something, and then digitally put the kid's face on. The John Connor we remember from T2. You see, it's so fucking weird. Really, really cool scene, right? But obviously, what happens isn't cool at all. They fucking shoot him within the first 5 minutes. Shotgun. And he's out.
And I got rid of him.
Done it really well, I will say, but I don't know, the whole thing afterwards, the Terminator, the guy that I have as the Terminator, he's just not threatening at all. He turns into like two Terminators. They can like change his flesh and everything into another Terminator, and the other one can like fucking drive cars and shit while he's out doing other stuff. So I like that idea, like, you know what I mean? There's some new stuff to put in there.
Oh, we can split up.
Yeah, the logic of it though, like it doesn't really sit well with me. And
I know, but this is like, is there any logic in a franchise called Terminator at this point? How many films are we in now? 6, 7?
To be fair, I think they could have, with a different script, they could have saved the franchise. But I think after this here, it's going to take a long time before I'd be invested to watch another one. I think this was really kick the teeth.
I just don't think there's any need for any more, to be honest. Like, it's one of those franchises where it's just like, there's enough. You've done everything.
I see what you mean, but they're hanging on to. They can't get rid of fucking Schwarzenegger.
When they backed out of what they were doing with Salvation, that's when I started giving it a miss, because I was like, they were actually going somewhere different or doing something different.
I like Salvation.
I liked it. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great, but it was going in the right direction. And all of a sudden, nope, we're going back to these other things because we're scared.
I thought there was a story there that we're going to tell with bring it back.
What do you call it?
The original cast, but
I can't remember his name.
It was terrible.
But even they did the wee throwbacks to other films, having Guns N' Roses and all in there. As much as I hated it, at least they kept fans appeased with Salvation. But I don't think anyone really gave it the dues it deserved. Like,
yeah, like by McG, he directed that, didn't he? The guy who made Charlie's Angels.
I don't know. I didn't even.
The director who made that.
Charlie's Angels, but they're all fucking Terminators.
Yeah.
That was the original script, but like the guy wasn't that well known, and I don't know what happened with that film overall. I don't think people enjoyed it that much at the time, but if you look back now, you can see how different they were going to take. I think
with a franchise like that, what happens is there's too many outside factors that keep making their way into the stories, about a lot of political stuff that gets thrown in on top of it. Whereas you're talking about a franchise about a fucking murdering robot that comes back in time. Keep it simple. Was it fucking
couch him on it?
I know, yeah. What they were doing in this one was, it wasn't John Connor who was a new timeline. It's not Skynet, it's some other fucking thing that's causing our fucking Judgment Day.
Right. There's already another red flag for me, right? Because as a fan of the franchise from early on, your investment is based on the stuff that you know, between characters, between locations, between the Skynet subplot, the whole lot. And when you start when you start changing things and doing it
right
too much,
in the middle of the film,
it might as well just be a brand new story about something completely different. So why call it Terminator? Just make something else that's
similar to
Terminator.
And
start off
purposely had
not a Terminator.
Yeah, not Terminator. Yeah.
I will say there was one creative thing in it was to have the female Terminator in it is not a full Terminator. She's like a human that's been given enhancements and has like a timeline to go and do a quick mission. So the mission wasn't done when she landed, so she has to kind of find a way to keep surviving. So it was an interesting, point there. Like I'd actually found. Like, I wondered how they were going to do it. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it's just like, fuck me. They could have done better.
Do you think that idea is outweighed by fan service, having to have so many similar things from before, and from trying to recon stuff before? Why didn't they just have that, and that's the new version of Terminator, a new story, like an anthology?
I think it was a bit of a mess. I don't know how it was put together. It felt like there was two scripts, one original one, how they were starting off, and I don't know, man. A bit of a mess. I would say watch it just to see what What I don't want to taint it for anyone, like, but I watched it. I was disappointed, like, but it wasn't as bad as what everyone's making it out to be. Like, it might be the worst one. I'm not a huge fan of Genesis. I think Genesis is potentially the worst one, but it's right up against this one as well. You know what I mean? They're just as bad as each other. Like,
I think it needs to remember that the basis of that film, the base way everyone still talks about it to this day, was it was such a popcorn heavy film as well to watch that anyone that wasn't really aware of the first one could watch the second one, could watch the third one, go into it, enjoy it.
This
Whereas
one
now,
felt
so much
you had to know about the other ones to understand what they were talking about and why they're changing it. So it would put a lot of people off.
Yeah, because again, it's Terminator 6. Like, no one knew is really going to come into that unless again you have already in it, unless you have someone from the second one again in it, even if there was a tiny character, or you know what I mean. It's just there's too much to change and too much to go forward with at the same time. They need to either stick with all the shit that everyone remembers, or go to somewhere new. They can't keep putting the two together. The same problem with Jurassic World's franchises. They're trying to appease everyone. Like, stay on board. Do you remember the first one? We'll throw back in some fucking t-shirts and remind you of it. It's just like, just fucking forget about that. Move on and do something different and build on something.
Don't need to remind us why we're here in the first place.
Up the body of fucking John Hammond every film and go, look, it's just like, we know.
Too much fan service. Yeah, that can ruin
We're already invested. That's my problem when it comes to franchise films and stuff. It's just like, fucking, it's the same problem with Star Wars. I mean, the new Star Wars films, could they have made those without throwing fucking Harrison Ford back in again? Yeah, but they were afraid that people wouldn't be invested. They have to throw back all these memories from the first fucking run of films.
The same plot.
Turn into toys again and all this. It's just like, it's pure fan service. And I think that's what's killing a lot of these franchises. Just need to get their balls in place and just go fucking forward. Or just say, it's not Jurassic Park anymore. It's Jurassic World. They've done it well. You know what I mean? They've rebranded it completely. We're Terminator, still Terminator.
Just so they just want to play it safe. They're going to work with what's made money before. People are aware of the original films. Will try to recreate that. I fucking hate them when they do that. It's just lacks creativity. I think there's going to be a real need for it now. People are not going to go and watch this shit. No one, like, you've done this in the past with, and they're going to be remaking so many films in the next couple of years to be prepared to be disappointed again and again. Disney do it all the fucking time now. They turn all their animated classics into fucking live action shite. Like, I've not watched any
live action shit.
But man, I'm getting way more enjoyment from watching random films that are just run-off popcorn films or something that's completely fucking different, like Jojo Rabbit, or like even like borrowing Time Cop off you. I had so much enjoyment watching Time Cop than some other fucking franchise films or anything else that's dragged up the last few while. And it's so bad that when you see some films that are trying to be different and actually doing something different that should get praise, or going up against fucking franchise films that are trying to break a
Peter Jackson film. What was that Peter Jackson film he put out? The
War one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I thought that was a unique idea. I hadn't seen that on screen myself, you know what I mean? But that didn't get any attention really. I think people hated that film. I've not watched it myself.
I think
they were trying something new,
It's just one of those things when you talk about a film. I always get heated when I talk about certain franchise films because it's just like, oh fuck, we're here again. It's the same fucking Arnie in the same jacket.
Oh shit! The second one. It's just like, on fast meme. Oh shit! Here we go again.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's insulting because you're just like, I know this. Why are you spending an hour and a half showing me similar throw? Like, oh, he's twirling the gun again. It's like, I know. You know what I mean? It's just like, or it's just the heavy hitting. It's just like repeating scenes. You know what I mean? Like fucking Force Awakens did it. They basically repeated all of New Hope all over again.
Yeah.
Copy and paste jobs. It's just boring.
Planet Death Star. We'll make it even bigger, you know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sure, even the
Star Wars films, you just both see them. They just.
I watched the first 10 minutes of the last one and gave up. I just had no interest anymore.
I watched the last one there with Travis, man. I thought there was some cool bits in it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're seeing the remnants of the Death Star and, you know, seeing more Lord Plagueis, whatever the fuck he's called, Sidious.
Yeah.
And Plagueis, somebody else completely, Sidious.
You're thinking of Plagueis?
I think so, yeah.
Well, here's one for you, JP, because you've watched The Mandalorian as well. Based on the success of The Mandalorian for me from watching as a viewer is because you know the universe that it's based in with all the Star Wars films you've watched growing up with. They're not they're doing a few winks here and there with some stuff, but they're not really going like, look at me, we're referring to the first film.
Again, connecting back to Scorpion's Revenge there, it was a good mature take on Star Wars, The Mandalorian was.
But taking that risk to go in a separate direction with people that you don't know in the scenes, they're going to some place like Tatooine and all again. Of course they're going to have to do that. But you can see the development, to see where they're going. They're going away from that stuff to go into their own part of the lore. You know what I mean? That stuff to me gets praised because they took the chance to do something different. They did it in a tone that isn't insulting to you. You actually enjoyed it. Most of the time I sat back and forgot it was Star Wars related, which is great. You mean it wasn't
Shogun Assassin.
They mentioned Jedi once. You know what I mean? They mentioned Jedi once in that whole series, like. So I just wish some franchises would just go that direction. Take the attitude just to fucking go somewhere different.
I would praise Mandalorian for that.
The likes of them new Star Wars can, as I say, when there's good bits in it, they're also just making up stuff as they go now. Do you know what I mean? They're adding that was never, do you know what I mean? Like force related shit.
There's no clear story going along.
They fucked up big time with Last Jedi, and they had to try and fix that with Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. But the damage was done, you know.
There's talks of getting Stephen King, or not Stephen King, but that'd be good.
That would be interesting.
Spielberg, there's talks of getting him back in to write the next trilogy coming up. Apparently, he needs to fix their mess. So, well, I don't know if that's true or not.
As long as the new trilogy.
What about Stephen King? A Stephen King Star Wars film. Plus, he goes into the creepy shit.
I can only imagine.
The Death Star is basically like the hotel, The Shining. Now it's just like something different.
I'm Stephen King. I'm gonna scare the hell out of you. But
I would say Stephen King would pick most random character that was in the background of a scene and make a whole universe based on him. Some random dude.
That's a good segue into. We'll just I think we covered Mandalorian at one point. Maybe I'm wrong. The boy, like, taking a character that was known from one scene, that robot that just stood there in the background.
Was
great.
That was
great. He was a hero.
Self-destruct. I said to Peppa, we were watching the Star Wars films in order. We watched the prequels, the originals, and then Rogue One. But I was saying we were watching the original ones. I was like, keep an eye on this guy here.
Yeah.
She's like, what? See him? He's going to show up later on. And I was just like, right. She completely forgot about it when I showed. I showed her. I was like, remember him? She's like, no, not really. And I showed a picture. I was like, oh, yeah. There you go. That's his backstory. Fuck.
Yeah.
As long
Robot
as
chicken fucking.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Gets what have to.
If there's another trilogy, I just want them to go away. There's no more Chewbacca. There's no more CP3O. There's no more droid. Like new people. That's what I'd be interested in.
No, fuck it all. Just come
on.
I will say one thing that I will miss if they do create new films. Is the Jedi fights. Like the lightsaber stuff is for me what makes Star Wars. But obviously, Mandalorian proves you don't fucking need lightsabers for doing Star Wars.
They need to go way back and show some of that fucking Sith shit. That ancient Sith shit, man. Like what happened to the formation of the Jedi and all. Show me some of that old school shit.
Yeah.
They made Road Rapping fucking canon. Disney did.
Yeah.
He's cool as fuck, that character.
When I did the podcast with Donald there a couple of weeks ago, he had brought up stuff about the Clone Wars cartoons and different things he'd watched about it. Saying it was pretty good. Like there is stuff there for you, but
Star Wars Rebels apparently is really good.
Darth Maul is supposed to be really good. Like good backstory on him.
Yeah.
He's back with white legs and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I've been looking to check it out. Peppa has it now on Disney Plus, so you should get that and fucking what else? Something Star Wars related. I can't think now. But I did show her the Robot Chicken one. Showed her the guy who was from Empire Strikes Back. He was dead serious. The guy with the fucking in Cloud City. He has this
with the
device. He's just tuned in all the time, doesn't say anything. Then you see him fucking breakdancing. Like
all that shit. They're trying to show you a clip of your boy playing that does Maul, I think, in Clone Wars, where you mentioned him. It's either Clone Wars or Rebels, but he plays Maul. But there's a class clip, if whoever's listening to this wants to YouTube it, it's pretty good. The actor the voice actor for Darth Maul in it, there's footage of him in the sound booth, and he's saying Kenobi. But it starts off always like Kenobi, and then he does this mad one, Kenobi. It's pretty funny, like. But it apparently gave Travis goosebumps because he had his headphones on. It was late as fuck, and he had the volume on full blast. He wasn't ready for it, you know.
I know he dropped something about. I think Darth Maul figures out that he's on Tatooine protecting Luke. Like he figures out something why he's there and stuff. Like they really seem to go into. I only saw little clips.
Yeah.
Of like what they're putting out. I don't know whether it's Clone Wars or what you said, Rebels or something. There's another.
So but Clone Wars or Rebels is one of them.
I don't know what one is from. It looks
These
really
tarantula legs and all at one point, and then he gets other legs back and shit.
So there's loads of stuff. There's probably like fucking 6 seasons or something to go through. Like there's loads of stuff there, isn't there?
Yeah. Do you remember the droids from Phantom Menace, the ball ones? It looked like the legs of those that he was walking around.
The droidicas.
Yeah, the droidicas. Yes.
It's fine. Love them Battlefront.
Oh my god, Daggy, fuck's sakes.
Well, you know that because
you just brought me back like 20 years to that fucking Jedi game we had.
Oh, it was fucking brilliant. Like that's what I mean. I'm gonna buy the fucking PlayStation Classic so we get those games
just for on. That. Yeah.
They did episode 1 for PS1 and it's not that great. It's like but it's like a platform game. It's not. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's not great. Like, but they did Jedi Power Battles, which is a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, it's horrible to watch because the graphics are really bad. Like, but no, that was a really fun game. Like, you can just you can pick between 6 Jedis or something. Mace Windu and fucking the gang.
It was the dude that had the yellow saber I kept picking.
He was cool as fuck. Yeah.
He was cool.
Yeah.
Apparently they're really rare. See them yellow fucking crystals. And then people are cracking up that your woman Ray shows up like a yellow lightsaber at the end. Where'd she get that? They're all saying, but who gives a fuck?
So again,
making stuff up as they go. They can do whatever they want.
Oh yeah.
As long as they entertain me at the end of the day, you know. I think Rise of Skywalker was all right. It wasn't brilliant. Like, I'm not gonna praise it really. Like, but like they're up against so much shit before that. Like, they had to make up for the last film. So
yeah, I
think they did all right. Like, I think you see the super fans cracking up, you know, and you're like, I don't know.
Oh man, there's one there where there people are cracking up with fucking. There was a story about some dude in like Star Wars Land, whatever the fuck it is, Universal. And it's kind of like the Harry Potter thing. They've like lightsabers all set up. Now that you can buy like the wands.
Yeah.
And Travis was telling me some boy got upset that he asked for fucking whose is it? So Ray's lightsaber now, but whoever fucking owned it, no, it's Luke's.
Oh, Luke's old
lightsaber,
one,
you know. And apparently he got really upset. That's just called the girl behind the counter was calling it Ray's lightsaber. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's Luke's lightsaber. I was like, dude, fuck. Travis was kind of like it too. He was like, but it's Luke's. I was like, where'd Luke get it? Was it not fucking Anakin's?
Right? Yeah, it was Anakin's, yeah.
So
this is your father's lightsaber.
Then it became Luke's.
Yeah.
Who has it now and who owns it now? Ray. So it's lightsaber. You know what I mean?
But Luke's Anakin get it from like fucking Ben Kenobi in the in Attack of the Clones or something. Where the fuck he got it?
Look, who owns it now?
Yeah.
Right, it's Ray. So it's Ray's lightsaber now. Yeah. I know it was Anakin's and then Luke's and now hers, but fuck me. Getting so upset about different things. But I can't say that. I upset when they retcons and Dale's fucking storyline for a bit there. I'm over it, like, fuck
it. Clearly.
I don't care anymore about it, like, you know. It's cool in a way, but it's like, don't just change lore like that. How do you get on the Mortal Kombat there?
Man, that happens all the time. The conversation always comes back to Mortal Kombat somehow.
Oh, it was a Ray's lightsaber thing, Luke's lightsaber, Anakin's lightsaber, whatever it is. Somebody's lightsaber.
If you're a grown adult going up and giving off about that shit, you need to sort yourself out, like.
Yeah. No, it didn't say how old this fella was. But saying as if he's getting upset about that, then he's probably like an old school head, you know what I mean?
Too much passion.
Again.
Oh, shit. Did he get upset then when Luke had it? No, it's Anakin's, even though Luke had it. It was Luke's first, really, you know.
Man, I wish I was a Disney employee. I just stared him straight in the face and just go, it's all fake.
The scene from Scanners.
Who are the fucking fictional characters?
It's just fictional characters.
It's just like, do you know what I mean? Wise up. Do you want it or not? Back of the line.
Yeah, right. Back of the line. Make up your mind. Whose lightsaber is it? Do you want it? It's $50. Hurry the fuck up.
It's Disney's lightsaber. Do you want it?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It used to be Spielberg's. It's Steven's lightsaber.
Mickey's lightsaber now. He doesn't give a fuck. Oh man. Don't want to get into. Do you know what it is? I think certain films and certain things that got there really just annoy me these days because I'm so let down. Because to me as well, like see Star Wars, I just see it as a wee film we watched back in the day when we were younger. Whereas it's almost a fucking
don't have any sentimental attachment.
Religion based. You know what I mean? But still being let down because there's so many chances. You're 9 films in and they're still spouting the same shit. It's the same theme song in every episode, the same title crawl.
See, I enjoyed it for what it was. So I can sit and watch those later films, newer films. I can just sit there and go.
I was saying with popcorn flicks. Yeah. I actually enjoyed
my attitude going in.
Like, it's like, who cares? You know what I mean? At one point, I was like, "This is bullshit." Like, you know what I mean? Fuck it, who cares?
Just as a film with logic, I got 10 minutes in that new film when I saw fucking spaceships coming out of the water and they're working 100% and everything. I was like, I'm out. That's just basic.
My head was
that happened in the old films as well. Yeah,
I was just like that.
Out of water.
I was just like that. Look
Yoda,
cool that is.
Remember Yoda levitated the ship, like Luke's ship, out of the swamp. Mm-hmm. Like that was in the end. So they still work. Yeah. So I thought that was actually cool. Or Sidious was like whatever. I can't even remember the conversation, but like fucking what do you call him? Kylo Ren. Fucking. He was like, "Yo, more or less. I'm paraphrasing here, but like, why should I join you? What power do you have?" Whoop! All these fucking shit. I thought that was cool as fuck.
Oh yeah, to start the film, yeah.
All that lighting and all, it
looked cool as fuck. I mean, I was just like
more of that. I want that ancient Sith shit. Show us that. Yeah. It's like Terminator. Going back to it, show me the fucking futuristic ship with all them purple lasers and all, where it looks like Outworld from the 90s. Do you know what I mean? Show me that.
They did that with Salvation, didn't they?
But it wasn't. It was all modern shit and looked like fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare, man.
You wanted the fucking.
I want the futuristic fucking whatever the fuck them laser guns were. Everything looks fucked up.
You
and
want the valiant skulls
that retro kind of.
Yeah, man. Like Arnie's fucking wind pose in MK11, Terminator's wind pose. That shit.
We'll just do the whole film in that setting. That'd be grand. I'd be up for
it. Yeah.
See, that's fatality. That's fatality where he teleports them to that fucking time. Yeah. And your half body's crawling, and then the T2 comes up.
Class.
Oh,
give me that shit.
T1000.
Terminator, show us that. Like that, those clips out of those early films. Show us a whole movie like that, looking exactly like that. Star Wars.
You don't need Arnie for it. You just need that
new shit. Goes back, bring us back to the skeleton. Ancient Sith, and show us some of that lore. The cool shit where everybody, you know what I mean? The Sith were fucking everybody up.
Darth Plagueis, his
play around with new Jedi characters and all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, look, but like the opening credits say a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago, wherever the fuck it was. You're sitting there going like, right, but why are all these films and things all based around like the same like 10, 20 year period? There's so many other things you can go with. Just fucking go further back or further forward to a different fucking part of the galaxy, whatever the fuck. That's what I mean. Just
a wee while ago in a galaxy not too far away.
Yeah, that's what it was.
See, that ancient Sith shit isn't really explained. So if they want to come out with these new ideas and start making shit up,
long time ago.
There's your playground. Make cool Sith shit up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Constructive criticism. That's all it's really for.
Hey, give me that dark shit.
I mean, it looks the coolest, and it's like it's the whole point of the fucking Jedi, really.
Yeah, the morals and stuff. Yeah.
They were formed to fucking stop the Sith. So it's like, who was the fucking Sith? I know we know who the Sith was, but we don't know who the Sith was. Do you know what I mean?
We want to explore that a little bit more about the balance of the Force and the full understanding of it, because the Jedi's quote a lot about it, but you want to see.
How about they make a whole film
that came about?
This dude shows up and is like, "I am the Force."
Oh.
That's terrible. Could imagine that. I actually am the Force now. Fuck you all.
Something.
I'm letting you do that shit. Right, scrap that idea.
I love how JP's like, I'm letting you do that idea.
I wasn't serious to, but I'm serious about the Sith shit. Bring Terminator back to the old school fucking future shit and bring Star Wars back. Bring Star Wars back and bring Terminator in the future. That makes any sense, timeline-wise.
Or just quit while you're ahead and just do something fucking new. That's me. I'm happy enough, like.
Just fucking pay me.
At the end of the day, they're not interested in entertaining us. They're interested in making money. So that's the bottom line, isn't it? These companies are just trying to make a profit based on what.
If you base it on trying to make money now, and then you're as soon as this one's overdone with, right, that's out of my attention. Now we're doing the next one. Then put that aside. You're just throwing shit onto the shelf. You're not building something that's going to last.
Characters tend after
they're not
a way,
interested
like,
in
something's that popular.
Story. Yeah.
Just disposable films. That's how I feel. That's how I feel the Marvel films are like. That they're just churning shit out under the guise of building the universe. Now that's overdone with. Oh, we're into phase 2. Right, so start again.
But the thing is,
start doing
like, they'll tell stuff like that, but it'll go on forever because characters become, at one point, almost immortal, and they're stuck in a frame of time. Like, perfect example is Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, right? It was originally supposed to be that he grows up. I think he ends up marrying Misty or some shit like that, and they're like trainers in the adult life. But
you adopt Brock.
It got to the point where the big companies flat out made a statement, right? Ash Ketchum is forever always going to be whatever age he is, 10 or whatever. Fuck, you know what I mean?
That just limits what you can do.
Old school fans a bit upset, right? That there's no conclusion to the story, right? He's become one of these Mickey Mouses now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what happens with these characters, really.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to get recycles of the same stories over and over again then, because it's going to be like whenever you see another Batman film, we'll have to see his parents get killed again every single time because they have to keep, by trying to do something different, they still have to honor the other stuff, you know. But if you keep it in that small time frame, as you say, of only him being a child,
Flashpoint Paradox timeline shows a real film of that.
Yeah. I am psyched though for the Batman.
Shooting motherfuckers.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what they're going to do, because what I'm hoping for is that they don't go full out with his abilities, because he's not there. It's supposed to be year 2 of him being Batman, so you're very limited anyway. Yeah, no, really, you should see. Apparently, the direction they're going is something that's not been seen before. A proper detective, which I am busting to see.
One, yeah. And, man, the cast as well. I mean, like fucking Collins.
They're talking about making one-off movies for some of the villains. So the Riddler might be getting his own film, and a few others. Scarecrow they talked about.
Give me a Clayface film. I'll be happy as fuck.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there with Clayface. If you can do it today now.
Krog.
Yeah.
Killer fucking Krog. Actually, fuck it. It's in the same universe. Deathstroke versus Batman. That's a comic. Do that movie. I'll be tight as fuck.
Yeah.
Deathstroke has the same fucking kind of detective shit as Batman. They're extremely fucking similar.
You ever see the Arkham Origins promotional video stuff for the game? Like these cinematic scenes, fights with Batman in the snow. They're jumping off fucking trailers and stuff. And man, that's the shit you should see in a live action film if they can do it. Like, but
is it Azrael was someone that took up the mantle whenever he got injured, and then he didn't want to give it up, and he was being really like fucking, like he wasn't being merciless with people and everything, and then the whole story then was then fucking Batman trying to take over that title.
It's like an insurance policy in case he, But I don't know a whole lot about him, but I can imagine that would be the case.
Stories like that coming over, like I mean, it's just there's so many different things you can go with, like.
No, they're now realizing that there's so much lore there to have people from DC on board who were like not really in the best, but they were. So Justice League's a perfect example. I don't know if you want to get into that now, but Jeff Johns was the guy who was the main voice behind a lot of the decisions that was finalized in that film, and he could have been replaced by anyone else. Like someone like Jim Lee is a better understanding of the stuff as well. Frank Miller maybe, but I would rather see someone like Jim Lee be on board and be advised on stuff and what
they've been focused too much on Frank Miller stuff for the last 15 years, and they need a different look at it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the stuff's it's all there. It's all storyboarded. It's all like, look, this is what you can make. It's fucking, it's all there. Like, that's the coolest thing about making a comic book film. It's all set up for you. It's not a whole lot you really have to make up.
Out of all of this stuff, out of all the media,
stay true to it,
out of all the games, comics, films, cartoons, the whole lot, I'm yet to see anything being done like an approach to show you a story about Bob Kane and everything, starting the whole fucking thing from scratch. Because I don't know much about the man. And Bill Finger. To see a story about how that went on, like they've done that with Tom Hanks with the fucking Walt Disney film and all that shit. So
that would be a brilliant film because there's a lot of stuff that's really only coming out now.
Parallel it with the two Jewish lads in Canada who created
Superman.
Superman, everything.
Talking about a fucking Toe King sort of thing here.
Yeah. No, I'd love to see it because that's perfect material. Your guy Bill Finger has only been credited from Batman versus Superman onwards in the credits. Right. It's now Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
You've seen the was it? I can't remember what they call it, but the award ceremony based on him, and they gave an award called the Bill Finger Award, was just cast our middle finger. Used to give out to people like they were doing this. There's like a grassroots thing to get him actually acknowledged for stuff.
There is a documentary on the fight for that. I think the fight for Bill Finger or something. I can't remember what it was. Maybe we can get that in the comments or in the description or something for this because it's really, really good. So it shows the lawsuit.
I'll be interested in watching it.
It's really good. Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier on, but no, I don't have anything at hand. I can't even remember the full name of it.
Decky's over apologizes like you're caught off guard. It's all right, we'll get it.
Yeah, where do we get onto that? But yeah, a film like that, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just these days as well. I know I'm just going in circles with this stuff. I'm not going to mention the films we've already talked about, but it's just like doing something with the material we're already aware of is something that's going to have to flesh these franchises out, and knowing more about the people behind the stuff we're into would be great. Like
I'm expecting the industry to go down now. Yeah, like there's going to be the odd film.
Yeah, if you oversaturate it will. Because if you're trying to,
already happened. Yeah.
Well, in the same year, you take a 2-year span there for the last couple of years. How many Marvel films were out competing with each other? Never mind competing with the DC ones, competing with each other.
Yeah.
And then the reviews, you're trying to favor. Yeah, these films are better than these ones, but you can't downgrade one film against the other because they're all part of the one universe thing. It's just the more to do with that, the more they're going to choke
there's a bias out there.
Speaking of them films, I haven't seen them all yet, so it's actually been on my mind there recently to get the whole timeline. There's a movie timeline out or something and watch them all because there's them Thanos ones and all. I haven't seen any of that shit, Avengers and all that.
Yeah, funny as you said, I wanted to react to those Marvel films because I can remember most of Iron Man. If we're talking about the original, I
remember more of the earlier ones than the later
ones. Go back and watch them all to get the whole fucking experience, you know.
Because I know I'm not going to. Well, I don't know. I have a funny feeling I'm not going to enjoy it as much. But
popcorn flicks.
Yeah, you know, I think I'll come out of it going, I don't really understand the big deal of it. You know what I mean? That's me being naive, not understanding it. So yeah, would you watch them, Conor? You've seen most of them, haven't you?
I started off watching them from the start, and there's a couple of ones I like. There's ones that people completely say are absolute bullshit, which I think are pretty good. But then again, each their own. I mean, at the end of the day, you try and go in thinking it's a comic film, but when there's stuff thrown in your face, especially with the later ones, where you're just like, time travel, right? Okay, we're going down this route, and it just seems like nothing else to think about. And it's like, this is what insulted me about it. The whole thing that everyone is selling you for years, the one thing that everyone keeps talking about is like, oh, we're building this franchise, everyone's going to this big film, we're working all these other films out so you know who's who by the end. That's great. That doesn't work when you throw fucking spanners in the works like time travel and all this other shit, because you got yourself backed against the wall so early on that by the end, whatever you thought at the beginning was going to be the last film is nowhere near what we got seen. And throwing all these extra wee tidbits to fucking for fanfare, like the several women all together, somehow in the middle of this battle, they're all in the same proximity and they can line up and walk towards the enemy together for this fanfare shot. It's throwing certain things in the gap to just ruin that franchise. Compared to the enjoyment, at the start. Yeah, man. Compared to the way the films were at the start, compared to the way they ended up at the end, it's just stupid. And it was a big branding exercise because by the end of it as well, how many scenes you saw the letter A, you saw the outfits, you saw this, it's just a branding exercise. It was a toy sale by the end. The actual films at the start, the first couple of Thor ones were good. The Incredible Hulk one wasn't bad. The first
Guardians of the Galaxy, I like that one.
Yeah, the first one or two were grand, but my God, like I didn't watch Ant-Man because there's so much hype about it. I just don't. Paul Rudd just doesn't seem like a strong main character. Like He's just a very hard guy.
I remember knowing I watched it, but I don't remember a lot from it.
I remember Michael Douglas and all this kind of stuff about it, but
I thought it was okay.
Captain America, Winter Soldier was good. Thor Ragnarok was just fucking ridiculous. It was stupid. I couldn't understand why anyone liked it. It was just because you look at the tone. Like, there's a good example. The Iron Man films, there's a similar tone how through them, but to change the character an awful lot through it to reflect on what's going on in the other films. Similarly, they do that with Thor, but the big difference between you look at Thor 1 and Ragnarok, and you look at Dark World, each one of those films are like three completely different characters, three completely different settings, the whole lot. It's just because they didn't know what to do with the character. They realized people liked him for his witty charm, and they started trying to fucking blow that up as much as they could throughout the rest of the films. Where it's very clear he wasn't supposed to be the guy at the start. So it's just like the whole thing is just muddled. You know what I mean? That's why you fall out of fashion with these franchises. You're just being shoveled. Here's 3 more films this year. Don't fucking worry about it. There's 3 more coming next year, and it's just.
Well, you're making an interesting point because it's like a calendar of films that DC and Marvel are putting up. Almost.
Yeah.
Not to be creative. It's like, how can you plan
it's just
out?
It's just to be dominant and to be everyone's talking.
Half the films that they're talking about scheduling haven't got scripts.
Oh yeah.
It's just an interest. They're buying. I don't know what the license would be for the names of these films. Like they're setting themselves up for like the expectations there. How are you going to deliver on that?
Well, what they've done is because they're churning them out so often, it's a smart idea because they're always going to be they're always going to be in the cinema listings. They're always going to be in the network news. Around award season, there's always going to be a film or two of theirs there. They're constantly in your sight.
That's the thing I'm saying. Like, how can you come up with great creative works of art, almost things that we love
and just churn them out every year too?
Yeah, you can't. You just can't. It's like,
but the arrogance of most of the fan base is that they're fucking flawless, they're brilliant, they're so inspiring to people, or this and that, and it's just like, really, it's just like.
No, I can honestly say someone who's not watched the Marvel films could be very biased with what I've been saying so far, because I'm someone who watches the DC films. I'm not happy with what we have. I want better. Absolutely. And we're getting these other non-DCEU films like The Joker, which is fucking brilliant for what it is. Yeah. But it's nothing related to the DCEU. What they're hobbling along. They're
just throwing stuff out for the sake of throwing something out.
If you want to get into it briefly and cover it, if you wanted to, I don't know if it was on your list, but HBO Max is now going to air the Snyder Cut version of the Justice League, which is a completely different film than what was put out there because he had to abandon his work halfway through the film because of a family issue. So it was left to the guy who made the Avengers film. I don't know which one he made.
Josh Whedon. I can't remember which one he made. I think he made the first one.
Who then took whatever was made and then made his own film. And people have been. That's one of the best fucking things that's ever happened for fans. And a lot of people are argue that if you give too much to the fans, that you're. I understand their point of view. Where they want all these other films remade, but this film that was put out wasn't. It's not a remake. It's what was supposed to have been put together in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know all that chatter's going on at the moment, and they're angry at fans getting the Snyder Cut, which I think is a fucking great fucking decision. Getting Snyder in
because if anything,
20-30 million.
I don't think it's going to be
to make it happen.
I think it'll be just better.
No, that's what I mean. I think it's going to be definitely better. That's my hopes anyway. Sorry, I see from what. Was missing out in the film the plot points that were needed to be there in the first place, like Darkside's appearance and stuff. We're finally going to see him on fucking screen. So I'm hoping for it. Like, so whether it's good or bad or different. Yeah, I just want to see what was meant to be in the first place.
Did you hear who wants to play him?
Move on.
Did you hear who put his name forward to play him? Mark Henry.
Mark Henry. Play Darkseid.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Fuck up what actually, yeah.
I would watch the
He
wouldn't even need to hit anyone for the first fucking part of the film. He just has his hands behind his back, floating, using they call the mega.
Imagine seeing him in the proper Darkseid get-up, man, with the heel Henry fucking look.
Somebody's going to get grasped.
The light was always placed so that his eyes just looked dark as fuck. Wow, that was just.
All the pain version. Yeah,
man.
But I'm hoping for what like if it's going to be shit, fine. I'll say it's shit if it is. You know, I'm not praising all the DC films. I'm looking for something that we see in these animated films, like stuff that fucking we would deserve to see. You know what I mean? I don't know how.
There's just toxic fan bases on that. You ever see what goes on in the Kevin Smith fan club thing on Facebook? Is just ridiculous. People literally going like, "Oh, I don't like one film. Oh, you're not a true fan. You're not this and that. You shouldn't be on this page." It's just like,
that's toxic,
wise up. That man has turned out 60% of bullshit in his life. You know what I mean? Like, no one is perfect. Like, but the fan bases for a lot of these films are just so fucking like. If those are the ones you're trying to appease, fucking best luck to you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, there's never any pleasing them. Yeah. No. It actually,
they are fan bases
not saying that sometimes, you know, because I don't think they understand all the ins and outs of it. You know, it's a business and it's so many people involved in it. You're never fucking gonna get what they're asking for. No, Birds of Prey is shite, man. Don't watch that.
I've no interest watching it because it's Harley Quinn and 5 random people. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, just avoid it, man.
I don't like Harley Quinn as a character either, so no interest.
I actually want to see that cartoon though. There's a new cartoon with Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're with the shark dude. No, look cool.
Yeah. Oh, Apocalypse.
Adult humor.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's Dark Apocalypse, where you see him and Harley. What's his name? King Shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's his name. He just says his name all the time. I'm King Shark, or I don't know what he says.
It just looks like drawn together.
Funny
King Shark is a shark.
In the prison though, when they go to break him out, he's like fucking funny in it, like.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one then. Is that like a Suicide Squad one?
Sort of like that, but it's like all. I think Harley Quinn teams up with the other like Poison Ivy and shit like that.
Yeah.
I think Joker and her broke up or something, so she's going out by herself. She feels unappreciated. Like, I'll try and send you the trailer for it. Yeah. It looks pretty.
I don't know if I've seen it or not. It does ring a bell.
I haven't seen it yet. I've only seen the trailer.
Assault on Arkham's good. It's like a Suicide Squad story based around the video game, so it's got some of the same look. Yeah, it's good. Cool. No, I don't think there's anything more there film-wise. Do you just want to talk about any other flicks? I know we watched Sonic.
Did you see the American movie, didn't you?
No, I haven't seen it, but you can work away. I think I've seen it years ago now, whenever you described it to me. But
it's just watching someone fail over and over and over again. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Like, I'd always wanted to see it. Like fucking Cinemaster, James Rolfe, he would always talk about it, and it was one of his most fucking quotable films ever, he says. So it was always in the back burner there, right? Fucking must check it out. And I would look for it back in the day, but I couldn't find it. But then Conor was able to find it there. And finally able to see it, you know. I mark off the list, but I found it really funny, boy.
It was unintentionally funny because the guy is so serious and deadpan trying to get this stuff done, but you're watching him, he's got so much shit against him. He's hopeless, like.
For anybody who hasn't seen it, he's making a film called Northwestern. He's trying to get it finished. So it's Northwestern is like the northwestern area of this certain place in America. Yeah. But he's taking that name and he's making it into like a Western, but urban, modern cowboys. It's like, what if cowboys were about today? So it's like that.
Yeah.
But it's just him drinking and smoking fags with a load of people. It really is what the footage shows, right? And he's like quoting, the Wild West. What was it all about? It was liquor, man. You know what I mean?
How much money did he put in it?
He can't finish it. So he goes to write, I'll go back and I'll finish one of my other films and sell it in order to finish this film. Do you know what I mean? So he goes, tries to make a film called Coven that he hadn't fucking finished or something, but yet in the background behind him there's a Coven 3 tape. Do you know what I mean? It's like, right, so what's going on here? And he cracks out. He calls it fucking Coven, but the name's Coven. It's like Coven of Witches.
Yeah.
And it's funny scenes with him and this actor going, "Oh, well, Coven is how it's pronounced." No, Coven, man. That sounds like oven, man. You know, really fucking.
That's what I thought you were saying, yeah.
Some really funny bits in it, but like as Conor says, like anything that could go wrong goes wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
As a filmmaker as well, watching some of the stuff that he was doing, and you're sitting there going like fast forward a bit into the story, he owes money to his former wife maybe or something with the kids he's got, and he's living with some woman now who's like fucking 30, 40 years older than him that he's dating. He's trying to finish this movie, and at one point he's got his ma on the kitchen floor moving his big old-fashioned camera to do scenes for her and all.
Yeah.
But it's just you have to admire him because he has no budget and he's trying to finish this thing. It's a pure passion project, and he's driven. So I'll give him that. But my God, him and his mates, the dude with the acoustic guitar, they're such awkward people. It's like watching Napoleon Dynamite people. They're so awkward.
That's his mate. Apparently, he used to drink or do drugs a lot back in the day. But like,
to look at him, you don't think he did.
There's a person we know in person that would kind of remind you a wee bit of the way this dude was on. But Hart Gold.
I know.
Was just like right. And this dude who's making the film, he is one of his best mates. Hart is dude who's making the film, but his mate, he just bleeds his mid dry and has him out doing all sorts of things. Do you know what I mean? He won fucking $100. Was it $100 he won on a scratch card?
Yeah, like $200 or something on a scratch card, and he's hiding it from his mate. He didn't want to tell his mate he won any money, and he was brought over for Thanksgiving dinner or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell!
I'm talking to the camera. And fucking I won $100 on a scratch card, but I don't want to tell anybody because they'll ask for it. Sure, I mean, desperate boy, and I think he brings 20 quid of it with him, or $20, and fucking. When he shows up first, he's all smiles and Mark Borchardt knows something's up. He's like, "What are you all happy for, man?" You know.
He's sitting there going like, "Oh, I bought this, I spent this, and now I've got like $20 left." And then he even wants his last $20 off him. Like
he's like, "If you can think of anything for $20, we could do." And he goes, "That's like 4 pictures at this bar." You know what I mean? And he goes, "Oh no," because he doesn't drink anymore. He's like, "I'm not going to drink." And he goes, "Well, if you buy it, man, I'll drink them."
Yeah.
And then, literally the next shot, they're watching a football game, isn't it, for Thanksgiving? Literally the next shot is him getting his coat all on. Right, we're going to the bar. He's kind of drunk. His bar is fucking just, no, you're not going to the bar. He's trying to fucking, you know.
It's his uncle as well. What do you call his uncle?
Before that, there's the same clip. There's a legendary clip of him drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Put this coat away and all, and then he starts kind of berating his family members and all. I'll just stay home and do dishes all day, just like you. Yeah. Yeah. Walks at the door, never. You know what I mean? It's funny as fuck, but. And the next day he's all fine again, but yeah.
Oh, he's not a good drunk in it, but it's just, I can't remember what was his uncle's name that he was basically bleeding dry the whole way through it. I'm so sorry for him. The uncle had no idea what was going on.
Okay.
He got him as extras. He got him as an extra in the film and everything, just to get fucking a couple grand off him. And the guy is like living in a wee trailer. He's very old and frail and probably doesn't know what's going on. And he's over like, "Come on, I'll wheel you out," to take him down to get money changed over the bank accounts. And it's just like,
how much money was spent on that film?
Now, having said that, that's painting him look really dark. But his footage of Mark Borchardt, he must be there and look after him, because it's just literally he's washing him in the bath and everything and trying to help him out.
He's his car.
Doing his washing and stuff, you know. So just say that thing in case we're like painting him out to be a fucking monster. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't understand. Like, I just thought that would be a lot of money though, like from everyone's contributions to make that thing happen. Like,
it's one of those weird paradoxes.
Does it ever come up anywhere in the film, like how much it costs?
Not really, but it's a weird thing because he's obviously spent a lot of money because he owes a lot of money.
That's what I mean.
He still get money on the fly randomly here and there. But with all this money, that money doesn't translate to any form of quality for his film whatsoever. So I think most of his struggles, whatever money he's getting, is the coping side with other things he's paying off.
Of course, yeah.
Because it didn't go towards the film at all. No, because
it shows.
Yeah, it's, as JP said, there's a lot of scenes of just that man drinking and smoking and trying to like be all artsy and stuff, like, and he's trying to basically, he's a big Dawn of the Dead fan and everything, and he's trying to basically emulate that style through everything. So he's doing a lot of things, like the documentary, the way it was filmed, he should have just used that equipment to make his film rather than rely on this like 16mm black and white film fucking camera to make this look. So by being so narrow-minded and being so fixated on his work, he has made himself in such a debt that he could easily just not have to spend as much money if he just used the cameras he had and shit for making the documentary. It almost seems like it's a simple thing, but I guess when he's in that mindset, he just doesn't want to. deviate from. No, I wasn't.
Especially if there's a touch of autism or something there. You know,
my lines,
and yeah, you never know what their actual condition is. You know, whether that your own experiences, for example, would tell you not to do certain things. But like if he's at that point where
the biggest problem with that is I've been guilty of it before myself.
Yeah.
He's running around doing director, he's producer, he's editor, he's acting in it, he's doing everything. So what happens is you only have to answer to one person in all of those ideas. You also get narrow-minded because it's your idea from scratch. Also, you write the thing as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're sitting there going like everything is his, and he hasn't stepped away from it.
That. Yeah.
He basically, from the moment he's come up with the idea, he wants to steamroll ahead and get this done. There's no time to sit back and come back to it later on and go, do you know what? I don't need that scene. I don't need this. I need to think outside the box or realize that he's never sat. There's very clear that the man has never sat down and make a budget for a film and realize how much it's going to cost and plan it out. You know what I mean? Because he could, even if you misplan a project, you could work out a budget. But if you do all the expensive stuff first and leave yourself with no money to film everything else, you know what I mean? You're just like, it's just clear that he was so driven and passionate about his project. He would have been better as maybe the scriptwriter for it, the producer for it, maybe director, but not everything else on top of that. You know what I mean? You need to open up your field and get other people's input in because
there's only one Tommy
Wiseau. It's its own worst enemy. No one was there to tap him on the shoulder and go, dude, you know what I mean? You've got a camera right there. We'll just make it black and white. It'll be grand. You know what I mean? It's just, I think he was I'm not taking the. It's very clear that the dude isn't all there. You know what I mean? And the most polite terms are to say that. But I think as well, because he's so passionate about it, you know what I mean? No one's ever going to change his mind. It's like Tommy Wiseau.
That's what I'm saying.
No sense was going to come into that man to make his films any different.
There's only one. There's only one Wiseau. So
there's only one Wiseau. You know what I mean? But I take it as it was enjoyable. There's so many levels to the documentary because you feel bad for him, but you're laughing at how just ridiculous everything is snowballing. Like as JP said, everything that can go wrong went wrong with that. The dude busted his head open trying to go through the cabinet door and all, doing all these different takes.
Probably.
That was funny, boy. But it definitely something I'd say for anyone that hasn't seen it, definitely watch because it is very enjoyable to watch. Like, and it's very short, only an hour and a half.
Only a scene there where he's like fucking, he's short and extra. And the way it's cut is like, he's like, yo, we need to film this. Oh man, we're one short. My mom's going to have to get out in the woods, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do dishes.
Yeah, he's giving off this man at the back door. He goes, come on, I need you to take me right now to the woods with these lads to do this film. You know what I mean? But his family are obviously behind him because they're just like, look, do you know what? Maybe they're probably either the sooner he gets this done, the sooner it's out of his head, or maybe they're just like, do you know what? Like, this is the only thing keeping him fucking right at the minute. So
are they enabling it or are they just helping him? Yeah.
Well, there's a fine line sometimes between it. I'm walking the fence at the minute between the guy because as a character, he's very interesting. Like, but again, because I've seen what he's going through trying to get stuff up and going and being that passionate behind your own idea and not wanting to deviate from it. Like, I've looked back at some stuff I've made and I'm just like, oh my fuck. There's some things I'd love to change and there's some things I'm like, why did I put someone in this and why is there a scene here? And you know what I mean? It's just like, or even sometimes like, why the fuck did I even make that? Like, I sat there, wrote a script, got everyone to film it, I made it, I put it in the film festival. Why?
Yeah, because that's like, you've developed, you know, you had to make all of those things to get where you're going to go.
Again, hindsight's easy, but obviously it's very clear. This guy, while this was going on, to get it done, even with all the bad shit going on, he saw it as like, right, success, next scene. You know what I mean? It got done. And it's I would love to see his film, the final cut of it. I'd love to see how it turned out.
I think you can get it somewhere.
Oh, bound to be. Didn't you say his daughter or something that was commenting on some videos about him? Saying he actually really liked that.
His daughter has a YouTube because there's footage of him doing like a tour of the town he's in. And it must be his daughter who's filming it. And it was like something board short, the YouTube channel. So I'm taking it that it's his daughter, like. But it's just him fucking like taking her about the town. Here's this man, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's funny.
You tour guide.
Yeah.
I'm still expecting with the mullet and everything. He's got this mullet and this like Eddie Guerrero mustache and
I definitely recommend it. Like, there's a fucking scream his mate gives off.
Oh God.
for like the sound recording, and it's just this blood curdling fucking scream as if somebody's getting murdered, and right after he's like, "That was awesome, man."
Yeah, he looked so relieved. He got that out of the system.
Fire through it on the acoustic. Class.
No. I remember sitting listening to it and it goes like, "Oh my god, is that 5 Hour Fire?" It's like, "Oh no."
We used to sit there and drink vodka, man.
It is. It's like a mix of Napoleon Dynamite and someone very close and dear to our heart. You know what I mean? It's just like
you feel for him throughout, you know. But at the same time, if he was your mate, you'd know you'd get annoyed with him here now.
Yeah.
You know.
If you knew him, you'd give him a hug after watching that film. You're just like, "It's all right, man. Just let it out. It's all right."
I know, literally, he makes the fucking Coven and they have this premiere for it and everything, and he gets your man Bill out of the car. "This is for you, man." All this shit.
Yeah.
They write literally as the movie's over. "All right, thank you very much, man. I'm glad you could all be here, and I'm glad you could help me out." Blah, blah. More or less, that's quick and done. He's out again. You know what I mean?
He doesn't hang about like.
No. Fantastic. I recommend it though. If you haven't seen it, check out American Movie.
That's going to be on my list. I'll get checking that one out.
Yeah. Well, you've definitely seen the footage of it because mentioning Cinema Oscar and stuff over the years.
I think that's the first time I saw any of it.
Here, lads. Just watching the idea at the time here, didn't realise why fucking late this as well.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up then? Last dance or something?
Because you've only got a wee bit in, so we can't cover too much of it, but we can give an overview of it. You've caught up on how many episodes, Declan?
So I'm only up to episode 4, so I'm already only familiar with Scottie Pippen, the coach, Phil Jackson, who I was familiar to that name and was always trying to picture who this person was. I've always heard his name, and it's usually from people from some kind of sports environment or someone who's well.
I've heard Bill Burr refer to him a few times, but I have no idea.
Maybe someone like that. No, comedies maybe. Possibly even podcasts or something. So it was interesting. I fucking loved how it was put together. How it brought you back and forward, on their timeline, to the NBA championship. So it's all between 97 and 8, and it goes back to the other. So each episode
span over time.
It seems like it's focused on each episode on another player or another person involved. Yeah. Fucking so cool. Like that's kind of the feel I get from it. The music's great too. I heard Party Man.
Oh man,
in there by Prince. That was great clips. Yeah. But Beastie Boys and stuff.
I haven't done the YouTube to listen to Party Man after that episode, and the amount of comments underneath going, "Who's here after watching fucking Last Dance?" It's just like.
But I'm sure there's other stuff there like that I wouldn't be familiar to, like, but great fucking music too. Really got. I didn't think I'd be interested in basketball. Do you know what I mean?
Same.
So watching it, getting to know these people and stuff, and the hardships and stuff, and that's really really good shit. Like I always thought Chicago Bulls was a really well known team because they were always dominant. I never knew that that they had to prove themselves and stuff, and they were underdogs at one point. I wouldn't have known any of that shit. And it's so cool seeing the years they were covering, like 91 onwards and stuff. And, you're looking at everyone reading newspapers and stuff, and it kind of fucks with your head a wee bit. You're like, that's the way it used to be, and I don't know, like how news would follow and stuff.
Or the 90s suits they all had to wear with the masked shoulders and
it cuts to like news reporters and stuff, and I just thought it was really well done. Like, obviously I've not watched much of it yet. I've only watched 4, so 6 episodes left. You guys can summarize there, like, what you think of it. You usually watch the whole thing.
Man, pretty much agree with you because it was so enjoyable, and like I would never profess to be a basketball fan. I mean, to the extent I would have watched was the odd game that might have been on Channel 5 at night, just because there was nothing else on. But I mean, I got sucked into it. I tried my best not to get too sucked into it because you're just like, am I being made to feel that they're fucking brilliant and they're all this and that? But then again, you're sitting there going like, do you know what? It's just sitting and listening to them talk shit with each other. It's actually quite enjoyable. But there's definitely the trend I love through every episode is basically someone says something snide to Michael Jordan, and then Michael Jordan goes out and wins the game.
Proving him wrong.
Oh, it was so good. I think JP's it's pretty much unanimous the way the show was done. What do you think, JP?
Well, when I was younger, like there was two sports that I kind of wanted to do, but never really had access to. Number one, what was out of reach was ice hockey.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I had an interest in basketball as well growing up. I think it was from Space Jam. It must have been Space Jam or something, man. I used to see the clips at the start of that movie, all the clips of Jordan and all. And I fucking thought it was great, having that perspective that I liked it. I've always liked it, I kind of go for your wee man, Bugsy Malone or whatever you call him, because he's small. Do you know what I mean? But class, man, I really enjoyed it. Like, I still love the feel of a basketball in my hands to this day. Always look fucking taking the shots and all. But really, really, really well put together. Like, and it tells different perspectives, because I always got the vibe that he was an arsehole as a person. Do you know what I mean? He's best ever, but he had that reputation, but
I didn't know he
he shows some of that, and he's like explains himself at one point and all in it, and it's multiple different perspectives, because Scott Dennis Rodman got a bad rap back in the day as well. It'll cover some of that too, but like it shows him, like a lot of people are having newfound respect for these players,
Yeah.
The way your fella was paid, Scottie Pippen, he was like yeah. Well, again, there was stuff there that I didn't know. Michael Jordan's reputation. I knew who Dennis Rodman was. I didn't know he was in the Chicago Bulls and it was part of that team. And I was like going, holy God, like what little I know is here. Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, Chicago Bulls,
all wrapped up in a wee bow for Decky.
And then they start mentioning other teams like the Boston Celtics, the Lakers, and I'm like, yes, I know who they are, and now I know why I know them, because they're the best fucking teams.
With the Boston Celtics fucking tank top for years, like.
Yeah, it's just really cool. Like I love. Don't you love looking at the footage from the late 90s until 97 or 98 when they're showing that last game?
Just went nuts for every game. They were seeping it in like.
Fucking mad too, and I just realised that was one of the coolest fucking times ever, wasn't it? Like
but this is the thing. You went down that rabbit hole. There's a load of 90s tunes and all this kind of thing. You're sucked in that wee time capsule again, because we were there during that. See, do you think for us, because we were around when this stuff was going on, we're a wee bit more attached to it and a wee bit more like, oh, this is nice.
Think about it. All around that time, Mortal Kombat was all the fucking rage. Stone Cold Steve Austin's kicking ass. Bulls are kicking ass. So it's all that specific time we grew up with.
No, it's a good throwback too. So I'm going to be watching the rest of it. You just got me hooked on it. So I was trying to watch it before this. So I said I understand what you're talking about.
Again, I'm just envious because we had to wait every week. There was 2 episodes a week. Like, so I was just like, fuck it. But then it broke up this the last couple of weeks, because every Monday is Last Dance.
Conor, I'd watch the episodes then and forget about it, and Conor's like, "You fucking Last Dance." I'm like, "Good man." I used to sit there eating my bowl of cornflakes watching it. Brilliant.
No, it's pretty good, because some of the clips from the matches are even enticing enough to go back and watch. But you're sitting there going like,
when it starts showing that triangle position.
I
was cool. Realizing that only for them showing me, I'm like, holy fuck! Like it's already. I have even more respect, because I could never play basketball. I love the sport. To look at, to watch. But I know how difficult it is to try and get one fucking ball.
Basketball was the noise of your feet hitting the ground. You know what I mean? It's just that the only thing that put me off watching basketball games.
I love that though. That's synonymous with it. The squeaky shoes off the wood.
Seeing the stuff where Jordan was doing, like choosing where he was going, my head was blown. Like I was like, holy fuck!
Not even that. The way they explained, because you're following a different team member throughout every episode. You're watching what they do differently from what Michael Jordan's supposed to be doing. So then, as the episodes go on, when you're watching some of the matches, then you're able to go, oh well, I know Scottie Pippen's blocking this guy, so he's doing this, blah blah blah. So you're just like, it's easier for someone like ourselves that are outside of the knowledge of the game to piece it together as the series goes on. To know the rules of the game, like.
Oh, I struggle to grasp the concepts of what they're talking about.
It's more the point score and everything. It's like 3 for this. Okay, right, okay. Just
but
it's to do with like wherever they shoot from. There's like point lines along the court and shit like that. So if they somebody takes a shot from fucking way back because
coast to coast,
the amount of lines,
coast to coast.
3-point shot or something. And apparently they're up in that because people have been practicing for years now, longer shots as the games went on. So they're like,
heavier balls get used to
a new fucking score line. That's mad.
You
know.
Well, I prefer to learn, yeah.
Every time, boom, boom, boom. And the Decky you brought up, you know what it's like throwing a basketball, and you get the ba-dump, or the fucking the twirly, and then it flies off or something, you know. Them rebounding it off the board into the basket and all, and then it's rolling. The trajectory of the ball and what way it would go, depending on where it would be hit, and from all sorts of shit.
Yeah. How many of those back in the day? You must have had a few of those. I think everyone in the 90s must have had one. The fucking Sonny D basketballs. Like everyone had one at some point. I don't know where they came from, but everyone had a Sonny D basketball at some point.
What year was that then? 98?
I don't know about a Sonny D basketball, but I remember having like the wee fucking basket, the hoop and shit like that. But I had a Michael Jordan, I think I brought this up in the old podcast as well, but the Michael Jordan fucking, called it a toy, but it was literally, he could just move his arm up a basketball.
With the basketball on it.
Sounds familiar.
And they used to quote it, but I can still say them, was like, I really enjoy playing with you guys. And then the next one, just play some basketball. You know, that was the 2 lines you would say. I loved it, but we used to mess with it, like, you know, we enjoy playing with you guys. Let's play some basketball. Class.
It's like a magic 8-ball. JP in this time of worry just goes to Michael Jordan. What should I do? Let's play some basketball. Okay. It's like, oh, for go.
I just came in Mortal Kombat. Really enjoy playing with you guys. Fantastic. But it was good actually watching Last Dance and then rewatching Space Jam because Travis hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Brilliant. I love that movie.
See, I've never been a big fan of it. I've always told you that, man. I was like, I'm not big on it. Like when it came out and stuff, it was okay.
Fucking stretch at the end of the last goal.
I know, but
fucking brilliant, man.
That's gonna be better to watch now.
You know, class.
I love it, man. I know.
Really good though. Fucking Last Dance, man. Fucking didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, even though I had a interest in basketball, you know, but
even still, yeah.
Rare for me to check shit out on Netflix, and I went on the Netflix to see that.
Yeah, no, I thought it was going to be on HBO or something. I didn't know. I was lucky to say it was on Netflix, so I'm fucking loving it right now. I'm only in episode 4, so
you actually get me excited in the mood to watch it again.
I'm just learning who these players are now, so
you'll know
big appreciation.
At the end of the series, you'll know the whole lineup.
Really, really do. Like just watching his struggle so far. But again,
I can sit and listen to Scottie Pippen's voice for days.
Yeah.
That deep voice of his. He can just sit there and narrate your life and just be like, fair play, dude. Fucking brilliant voice.
No, I gained a higher appreciation for the sport and all that stuff. So, yeah, I highly recommend it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. So I can't wait to watch the next one. I might actually watch it tonight. Episode 5. I'm seeing the crackers.
It just means next time, whenever we all get together here as well, then you can fill us in on the rest of the episodes, and it also gives, by the time we probably do this again, the last couple of episodes of The Last Ride will be out, so we can cover that as well.
We'll do that then. Yes. Yeah. We don't have time for it now, but yeah, we've only watched.
There's only 3 episodes out. The next episodes I think are starting back again next week. So they'll be back on again weekly. So
next Sunday.
I think so. I double check the date again because Backlash is on this Sunday. So unless they're going to put the next episode on after it, I don't know. But I think there's only 5 episodes altogether, and the first 3's out already. So we nearly finished it.
Right. Okay. Interesting. At least we have to touch on that, and we've all caught up on that anyway, haven't we? I've watched it myself. JP, have you watched them? Have you? The Last Ride.
What is it? No, I've only seen the bits and pieces of the first one, so I'll need to actually sit down and give it the time. Yeah. I've seen a bit of the Triple H one, but Last Ride not yet.
Yeah. Good stuff there. Like, so there's not much left of it. So, be interesting to cover that when it's all out. There isn't anything else I want to cover there, man. We can talk about Sonic film some other time. That's the only thing.
I was going to bring it up earlier, but if you want to save it, go for it because I haven't seen it yet. I might actually try and watch that during the week.
Well, here, I'll sort you out to get watching it. It's good. It's good crack.
We can talk about that next time. If you get watching it, man, at least we've all seen it then. It's a good laugh. I liked it.
Yeah,
Conor, I forgot to give you a pen drive the other day, so if you want to throw it on that at some point.
Lovely. I'll work away that. Well,
I've had Conor's pen drive for like fucking a year almost. If not longer.
Like half of Newry have like my pen drives for the last couple of years, so don't be worrying. Like it's not personal.
Give yours back to you.
I know, fair play to you. Well, I'll recon them. I think Niall's got a few, and fucking God knows how many else. But
shout outs to Niall too. Wasn't be able to make it in this one, like, but we'll have to get the gang together again for the next one.
Well, easily done with him. Like again, I think he's watched. Well, I doubt he's. To be fair, from what we covered there, I don't think he's watched any of that. So
no,
last right, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, I hope so. I doubt he sat down
that last answer though. You should check it out.
Yeah, brilliant.
At least that's something that if him and the woman's together, it's enjoyable. You could cheap people to watch it too. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'll give him one bit of homework. As long as he watches that and the last ride for series by the next time we all sit down, will be grand. Like, because there's plenty to cover in that. And I know he's been listening to a lot of documentary series the last few while as well.
There's loads he's watched there.
So it'll be interesting to see what he's been sitting down doing, because when he goes quiet, you know he's up to something.
Mischievous.
So that's the way I leave it with him. But we'll go for our sign-offs here anyway, because man, I'm actually surprised we went into so much, especially with the Scorpion's Revenge. Then we went off on a fucking franchise bashing for a while as well there. So it's pretty good.
Unintentional, but we're speaking for
unintentional, but
yes, you know.
Covered good ground.
We exercised some demons there today. Get that shit off our chest. So I was happy with it. Well, as myself again, I was Conor. I'm fucking happy enough to have the lads here again. Go through some films. We're going to have some more podcast lineup soon. I've got one to do. I think this weekend with Donald. It might be Saturday. Because he wants to give me shit for the films I said were a load of shite. The run through of those. So I'm leaving that off to him. So I might bring the films up again whenever we sit down, so you can give me your views on those as well. And I think Kieran's up for doing a music related one in the next few weeks as well for some records. So in between that, anything else we come together with between your streams as well, there's plenty of things for our fan base to take a look into. So adios, lads. Give us your farewells.
Hey, you can check out my channel there on YouTube, Decky Play-by-Play. Myself and Razer do a lot of sessions there ourselves. We have a wee playlist there. Play a lot of Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. So you see, usually we play Red Dead and the all-time GTA and stuff, but I usually play the same kind of stuff. So like, you can jump on there and check us out whenever we go live. You can follow me on Instagram as well. I do have a Facebook, but I'm not really interacting there as much, but you can follow me there as well. That's it. Pass you over to our friend Razer here.
Just like
original Razer. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, or find me on the Red Acre podcast or on Decky's stream playing some Mortal Kombat and some other games. So thank you very much for tuning in.
I know it's trying to be nice and do the intros and outros where we're just used to just sitting talking shit, right? So no, it's actually been a good podcast. We've held off on it for a wee while, but I'm actually glad we did, because there was an awful lot of stuff that we will catch up on, and we've got enough things now to carry over for the next one. So until then, lads, thank you.
Cheers, guys.